What's up, all you awesome gamers? I'm the Governor, one of the hosts of this fantastic podcast called The Console Corner, your number one source for all things gaming. If this is your first time listening to the show, we dive deep, oh so damn deep, into the gaming industry news, video games, and every frickin' thing else. Tonight is going to be a great show. There is a ton of news that dropped over this week. I can't wait to get into this shit. But first, let's go ahead and introduce the rest of our hosts on the Console Corner. First up, we have xSheWulfx.
Yo, guys, what's up?
Next, we have Mr. Magic Mike. Next, we have Mr. Brewtal. Finally showed up.
I could squeeze you in here. So, hey guys, how's everybody doing? I don't even have the show pulled up. I should probably do that so I can see all you beautiful people typing
He's so
in the
prepared,
chat.
ladies and gentlemen. He's so prepared.
Typing in the chat, dear. You know what I mean?
Next up, we have Destro. What's up, dude?
Yo, what up? You know me, the father of fatness, lord of the hot pockets, destroyer of all bagel bites. I'm here.
Destroyer of all bagel bites. Nice.
Oh, I guess that works.
Nice. Next up, we have Sith. What's going on, man?
Hello, Jesus.
Right? Exactly.
Hello, everyone. This is SithlordMike, the father of darkness and maker of flames. Yeah.
He's
That was
There's
awesome.
nothing else
Yeah.
to say. Just, yeah.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? If you saw my Twitter pregame, I was rocking this. And if you ain't watching the Twitter pregame,
That bow
what the
tie
fuck are
is
you
sexy.
doing?
That bow
Right?
tie is sexy as hell, bro. I'm
Saying,
not
bro.
gonna lie.
Saying.
Brewtal missed the pre-show, which we have a pre-show.
Brewtal hopped in there for a second. Oh, well, you mean the other
Oh,
Patreon.
it's in
pre-show
there.
video.
It's in there.
It's in there, all right.
All right, before we get into the topics, we work hard to bring you the Console Corner every week. Make sure you are subscribed and hit that bell icon so you know when we go live. Also, if you like what you see, why don't you consider supporting us over at Patreon at Patreon/Console Corner. Also, Super Chat is live if you want to support us there as well. Make sure you drop us your questions so we can answer a few of them at the end of the show like we always do. And we're going to go ahead and get into my favorite topic of the week. What games have been driving you absolutely fucking mad last week? Let's go ahead and start with Sith. What you been playing, man?
Well, I've been kind of on a hiatus, but on and off CSGO and a little bit of Kingdom Come Deliverance. I think I played a little bit of Mario Odyssey too. I think. Yeah, that's about it. That's everywhere. You know,
Mario Odyssey is the jam, man. I love Mario Odyssey for sure.
Yeah, just been working a lot, but of course, get some gaming in here and now.
Yeah, absolutely. Destro, what you been playing, man?
I've been playing some Chimera Outbreak.
Yeah.
Some PUBG. Trying to get some more
PUBG
chicken dinners. Nothing special, to be honest. Just staying with what I know.
Oh, jeez. Just staying with what
Just
he knows.
staying what he knows. Brutal. What about you, bro? I can guess what you've been playing. A shit ton of Fortnite.
Darwin Project, shit ton of Fortnite, yeah, for sure. So, Fortnite's definitely a love or hate it game, and there's plenty of both. So, Darwin Project, I watched xSheWulfx playing that earlier today. I'm still mixed on it. I don't know if I like it or not.
Yeah, I can see where you go. Yeah.
What else did I play? Played some of the new updates that they put out on Dead Cells. I don't that indie game. I don't know the last time they updated it, but I saw somebody playing it the other day, and it was a bunch of new stuff that I hadn't played yet. So I played some of that. By the way, Dead Cells is a fantastic indie game. If you guys haven't played it, it's right along the lines of Hyper Light Drifter.
Oh, another fantastic game.
That was
Really?
another fantastic indie game.
Yo, I love Hyper Light Drifter.
So, yeah. I wanted to play some PoE, but I didn't really play any of that. So, definitely been playing mostly Fortnite.
Nice.
And I drug that out way longer than I needed to, so I apologize.
No worries. Magic
I'm
Mike.
sorry, boss.
Magic Mike, what you been playing, dude?
Oh man, I've been all over the place this week. So I've been playing a little bit of Kingdom Come Deliverance. Played some Dragon Ball Fighters the other day. A buddy of mine came over and wanted to do some 2-player couch co-op or just couch gaming in general. Also played some Cuphead. That was the first time I played it co-op with somebody, so that was a lot of fun. And
Dude, I haven't played co-op.
Co-ed.
Co-op. Co-ed
Cuphead.
Co-ed Cuphead is a paid subscription that you have to pay for on the dark web.
Well, but
how was it? Was it how'd you like it?
It was fun, but it didn't make the game any easier. If anything, it made it more difficult because he picked up the player 1 controller, so he was Cuphead, and he made me Mugman, and I just kept thinking I was the wrong guy. So we need a little bit more practice and finesse at that. But it was a good time.
Nice.
There we go. I
She-Wolf.
can see the chat now.
What you playing? I know you played the Darwin Project. You should play that today.
I played that today though.
You
Which
played
was
that
really
Galactic.
Fun. I didn't play a whole lot. I was sick last week, so I didn't really.
But you did play on one of the days.
I played that Deep Rock Galactic game on Saturday. Terra.
Yes, we played a shit ton of Terra.
That is, if I'm counting games that I've played a lot of, it would be Terra, because we played that pretty much all weekend long. So, I gotta say, it was a pretty badass game. But now we have no idea when it's coming, so it's gonna drive me crazy. I'm gonna end up having to like download the actual game on PC and play it now or something, because it's gonna drive me crazy.
Sweet. Yeah, what's up, everybody in the chat? Thank you. I'm glad you all enjoy the look that I have out here. So, I've been playing a crap ton of Terra as well. I think that's mostly what I played over the weekend.
Yeah.
They definitely got some issues to work out. So it's definitely an open beta. So, but it was a lot of fun once you get out of the city areas where it's just bogged down to like 2 FPS, and it was just fucking annoying as hell.
Yeah,
But
the actual place was the like.
When you got out into the open, start doing all the quests and everything like that,
Yeah.
it's a pretty good time. We tried it on the PC, but it never like stuck with us because I think it was like Guild Wars 2 and stuff that we were in.
I think Guild Wars 2 came out around the same time, and we were like, no, we better not. We ended up liking Guild Wars 2 better, so we were.
Yeah,
I think we went with that one.
But yeah, good times. So that's what we've been playing. Let's go ahead and get into the first topic. New Call of Duty has now been confirmed. It's going to be a Black Ops 4. It's going to be a modern, like near future kind of, which I'm actually digging.
I'm all about it, bro.
Exactly, because I think it's good that they have 3 freaking studios that do COD, right? Like one can do like World War II, one can do like the modern stuff, and then if they want to go back to like the advanced or switch it up and that. And so we're not getting like consistently fucking drowned out with one type of
Dude, I was
era. Good.
I was on the bandwagon of all right, let's dial back the futuristic stuff. Let's get back to more boots on ground type of thing. I was all about that. But that being said, hate me if you want to. I missed the hell out of jetpacking some motherfuckers to get a triple kill. You know what I'm saying? Like, people hated on it, man. But Advanced Warfare was like, that's the most fun I've had in COD in the past several releases. So
the same as me, man. I think like Advanced Warfare was like the pinnacle of that system, and then they kind of went downhill from there. Even though like some of the other ones had some really good campaigns, but like the rest of it was like, eh.
Like the multiplayer, like it went from being feasible to just being like ridiculous, you know?
Yeah.
And I hope they dial it back from where Black Ops 3 was and find a balance between Modern Warfare 2 and Advanced Warfare.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think you got all the hate over what Advanced Warfare brought from the table from more the traditionalist Call of Duty player, because they were used to boots on the ground. They didn't like having the double jump and the wall running and all this extra stuff that they just hadn't been playing for years. And especially since it came out so close to when Titanfall launched. So, you know, Titanfall kind of got there first. It had like high expectations to live up to. But, you know, after like Brewtal was saying, once you go back to, you know, boots on the ground, you're looking forward to that futuristic, you know, type of gameplay again. So I think it's good. They're going to spice it up, add more variety. That's really what Call of Duty.
I think there's a good like mix of preference though too. Like me personally, if I'm playing like an arena style shooter like that, like I'm looking for like fast paced, like quick gameplay rather than. And I think that I just got accustomed to that. So going back to boots on ground just feels so sluggish to me.
It
Like-
does. I think.
But this is supposed to be boots on the ground though, so.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be like super future.
Right,
No,
it's
it's
just
not.
supposed to be, like,
That's
near
the
future.
thing. It's not gonna have
Yeah, but-
like the exos and the jumping like that. It's supposed to be, unless they just incorporate actual just jumping, like regular where you could actually like, because most CODs you can't. 'Cause you're just running and you're lucky if you can kind of like hop. But if they allow like actual like form of jumping where you can actually jump and grab onto something, and
So
pull,
some
like,
clambering around and stuff like Halo 5
but
and stuff.
like, because obviously we know it can be done because you can take the mechanics from the other CODs where you could.
I just don't
grapple
see
onto
them going
something.
that far because like once you start doing that, then you have to add in like new gameplay elements, balance it all out, and all that other kind of stuff. I just don't see
Yeah,
them
but
doing that.
it's
Like they're
either-
literally still using the same fucking engine for like a billion fucking years already, and they
Which
still
I
haven't.
understand, but it's either going to be exo jumping or it's going to be just straight boots on the ground, no jumping kind of thing. So
You know what I want to see a first-person shooter bring back? Way back from like the Unreal Tournament days, strafe jumping. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
do
Straight.
that shit with a controller, but man, I'd love to see that come back to a game again.
Dude, the whole Unreal like shooter back in the day, like that Quake, like that's like the epitome of like fast paced like quick shooters, man. That shit was
Hell yeah.
awesome. But like it doesn't hold up though, unfortunately, in my opinion. Like I played the Quake release and I was not feeling it.
See, and I thought Doom was really good though, like with that.
That's
fast pace.
I was
It
just
reminded
about to
me a
say
lot.
Doom was like to me was almost a spitting image, a little less put together, but it made me feel like I was playing Quake or something like that again.
Yeah.
But Doom, even the campaign though, Doom was so fast paced the entire time. That's what you need to get on VR, bro. Is play some Doom, dude.
I got Doom, bro.
we got Doom.
It's not
Did you-
quite. It's not quite the same, bro, because you have to like hop around and do like a little teleporty stuff, so you can't
Yeah,
really
it
move around. So it's a little wonky. And that's why I was like saying like VR isn't quite there. I mean, it's cool.
Well, I mean that's a given. I mean, we've already known that like VR is not quite there. I mean, any VR game you play that aside from something that you're in a moving like vehicle already
yeah.
is gonna feel out
Feel
of
like-
place.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, and honestly, if Doom VR was able to replicate the movement speed that you got in the base game, I think that would be the best thing to be doing.
You'd be definitely getting sick and be like, ah.
Dude, people would die.
People would die.
I totally
that
would
would
stream
be
it, bro.
bad.
I'd see if I could throw up. I
Well,
would totally test it.
story-wise, my question is this: are they going to be following Mason's son again?
I don't know, man.
For what compared to?
Who buys Call of Duty for story? Like,
So,
who does
bro,
that?
Some
Like,
of
I
us,
mean,
do,
that's-
some of us.
That's the thing.
hold up.
I
Sid,
remember back in the
Sid-
day when the story was important,
Yeah.
when story mattered, like, the soap days. Like, that's the days I remember. Not
That's what I'm saying,
Black
bro. You can
Ops
still
3.
buy Call of Duty for that, dude. Like
No,
that's
Black
one of
Ops 3 story was just,
Oh no,
Oh, that one was
hold on,
terrible,
hold on,
bro.
hold on, hold on. Don't get
Absolutely,
me
that
wrong.
was terrible.
You're cutting me off, bro. You're making me feel like I'm talking about Black Ops 3. I'm talking about Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2.
Yo, Infinite Warfare was a
all
good
those-
story too, man. I'm
Black
not gonna
Ops
lie.
2, I really like Black Ops 2 multiplayer.
Infinite Warfare was on point too.
Yeah.
The storylines are, for the most part, have been good. I mean, minus
Not
some of them.
3.
Ghost
Black Ops 3.
Black Ops
had an
3 was
awesome
terrible.
story.
Black Ops. Yeah, Ghost was awesome too, man.
Ghost is like one of the
That
worst
whole brothers
multiplayers ever.
Yeah.
And they had like I feel like that was one of the best storylines that COD's come out with, besides like the ones that everybody else is going to tell you if you ask them. You know what I mean?
I agree.
I think Infinite Warfare still take it. Well, not Infinite Warfare. Damn, Modern Warfare. So many warfares. I don't know what the hell's going on. But yeah, definitely that first one and the second one was pretty good.
And Modern Warfare was on point, man. Like
Yeah.
I'll never forget the feelings of like watching that campaign unfold. Like
Huge
so
shout
that
out
shit was
to Y9
crazy.
Power. Much love to you.
$20 in the super chat. Thank
$20.
you.
I'm
Damn.
glad you're back.
We are back. We're gonna take over this fucking
I
goddamn
still got them
podcast.
night
shit.
vision goggles that came with Modern Warfare.
Dude, so do I. I got them actually right
Do
now.
you really?
You know what? A funny story about Modern Warfare 2.
You guys are so cool with all your collectors things.
Well, look,
You
I'm
know-
really cool here. Look, GameStop. I was at a midnight launch release, and they was just answering doing a questionnaire or whatever, and I won the little time clock. So yeah,
That's
I'm
awesome, man.
important.
I got
You know,
GKB for our
Yeah.
first. I think it was like our first anniversary. I got
Get it, Mike.
the Black
What,
Ops
that's it?
2.
Hell yeah, man.
What you call it? The remote control car from
Yeah,
the
it's up
Black
there.
Ops 2.
Yeah, the remote control.
Yeah, with like the first video.
I wanted the one with
camera
the
thing.
drone too. What the hell one was that one? That one was like really cool.
I don't know.
Anyway, all right, let's go ahead and move on. That's enough Call of Duty. We're gonna talk about another shooter here, one that I know Destro is gonna love to talk about. He's like, ugh. Next time we're gonna talk about Rainbow Six Siege, the new Chimera update, and this is gonna be kind of fun because, as you all know, I'm a huge fucking hater of Rainbow Six. I hate the base game.
Oh, but not anymore. Not anymore.
I like this out.
No.
I like the Chimera.
I don't
because
want to
it's
hear
like,
it. You like Rainbow Six. That is
Whatever,
part of
whatever,
Rainbow
girl.
Six. You like Rainbow Six.
All right, so now we got some gameplay for you, so you guys can check it out. Who else on the panel besides us three that played the Chimera? Anybody else got the chance to check it out? No,
Bro, I'm not even gonna
I
give
know.
that the time.
I know.
That's
you're,
cool, bro.
You're in my
Mute
bro.
your mic.
Your clip's not playing.
So this add a zombie mode,
Oh,
right?
it's good.
Like
Oh.
Yeah, this is the new
Practically,
it's not really zombie. It's like it's like aliens and stuff like that. So.
Sorry.
oh,
guys.
aliens too? What?
Well, no. Okay,
Well-
so there's Okay, so what it is there's zombies that end up morphing into somewhat looking
They're like
alien type
mutant kinda
things. Like
things.
they're mutant zombies because they're not your regular. Like they do look regular at first when you first see them, but then they mutate into red spiky zombies. But they're not even the only ones. There's ones that are called roaches, which have like long pointy arms that like run through the area and then
I call
they
it
can
witches.
grab you. Yeah, you guys kept calling them witches, but they're called
So that's what
roaches.
they acted like. They like would teleport in and like grab you and throw you fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
Are those the ones that look like the witches from Destiny?
Yeah, there's ones in there that look just like those ones.
They like float around and
yeah.
they like teleport
and they
around.
throw
on
shit in your fucking face and stuff. Oh
Yeah,
my
that's
god, it
what-
drove me crazy.
That's
I
that
did-
slugworm looking thing.
Yeah, and then they
Like,
had like
don't they,
those big like brawler dudes. That was actually fucking hilarious when you're running around because they would like smack you and you'd go flying into the buildings and stuff. And man, it was a lot of fun. Yo, it is the hardest game type I've thought. I didn't think it was gonna be that hard, but it's
I like
freaking
the rhino
difficult.
though. Where
Is this Siege the gameplay that's showing now, or
Yeah,
is it like
yeah, that's
Metal
it.
Gear Survive?
No, that's it. That's it right
that's the mode. So as you guys can see in the background right now, it's playing the actual gameplay that me and GKB were playing for this mode. You guys can see the different zombies. There was explosion ones. There was definitely several
Definitely good
types.
variety.
And I like that the bosses, there was about 3 different style of bosses that we came across, which was the rhino. I can't remember who he reminded me of, but
He's a big guy, right? Smack you around.
yeah.
Yeah.
But he
Yeah.
reminded me of something from another game, but I can't think of what it was. And then there was the witch one that like not the one you guys kept calling the witch, but the actual like long one that would like
That float
disappear
around.
and float around, teleport you and all that kind of stuff. And then
Shoot
there
some
was the
shenanigans.
roach, and she, but what I also liked was the fact that there was different modes. So when you started going, you never actually had the same objective. Most zombie games, you're always stuck constantly just
Like playing just
fighting
that
the
board.
hordes.
Yeah.
You're just, fight as many zombies as you can, and then you're done, which gets a little boring. But this
Changes up the
actually
objectives.
changed it up by allowing you to have different modes because, like, we had to save somebody. There was a helicopter pilot who we had to actually sit there and resurrect, and then we had to
Jaeger.
sit there and just like protect him. There was another one where we had to like blow up I guess some of their vines and stuff like that. So it gave you a lot of different options, allowing you for more variety, and you never played on the same style of map. Like it was the
It
same
almost
map.
seemed like random. I don't think it was like completely random, but it definitely had like
It
a little
felt
randomness
random.
to it. It was a good time.
Huge shout out to Michael for that $20 donation. Much love goes out to you as
Thanks,
well.
bro. We really appreciate it.
Dude,
Yeah,
I, want
I
that,
think-
I want that last name though, dog. Chiricello. That's
a pretty good name.
Chiricello, Michael Chiricello.
sounds like a juicy ass name. You know what I'm saying?
What were you gonna
Left
say, Destro?
dead.
Chiricello.
But no, the game definitely reminds me of the aliens they had in Ghost and like Left 4 Dead together.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree.
And it was dope. We had a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
We were talking trash. The big dude, when he followed me inside of a house, I don't know how he fit through, but
He got through the
Yeah,
door,
bro.
was chasing him.
I lurked in GKB's stream for like 30 minutes and he didn't even acknowledge me, so I left.
Oh no, he said your name,
no,
bro.
he was
Yeah,
okay.
totally says that.
No, he was muted. So at the
yeah, I was
beginning of
muted.
this stream, he was sitting there talking away,
Oh, yeah,
and,
totally was
and he's
talking.
like, "There's nobody there. There's nobody there." I'm like, "There's people there. They're saying hi to you." And he's like, he's going on, and then he's like, "Oh wait, I've been muted this whole time." He's like, "I feel like an idiot."
Yeah.
I personally hate you, GKB.
That's fine. That's fine.
But that's not because of the stream thing. That's just because I know who you are. So
Oh,
Such a hater
wow.
tonight. Such a hater. Destro, I want to ask you, bro, because like you're a big Rainbow Six guy. You've been in the community and all that kind of stuff. Do you like this mode? Like, is it good mode to like add to the game?
Personally, yeah, I think it's something different besides the regular terrorist hunt, and then your multiplayer.
Hey, no, actually, I don't own this game, but watching this gameplay, I'm interested in picking it up now.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm intrigued. It's like I said, it's
The
something
biggest
you can actually
downfall,
play.
honestly, that I felt with Siege was it didn't really have a storyline. It didn't have a story mode because, once again, SithlordMike, I like story. And,
you do?
Yes, I'm a very lore's about the way. So it didn't have a story mode, so you kind of felt gypped when you first got Siege. And with this new Chimera and the new Outbreak and Terrorist Hunt, it gives you just more to do than, as GKB would say, sit there and camp and wait forever.
yeah.
But I feel honestly that Ubisoft is going in the right direction with it. I just think the only bad thing was like, check your servers. I am so tired of these companies pushing something out, and their servers don't even last.
bro, you damn right.
Dude,
Like,
I know.
it's-
Like, I don't
Bro,
understand it either.
It is
You know who
hard.
the king of that is, though?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Save the Master Chief Collection when it first came out, because
Oh,
that was
yeah,
the
that was pretty
biggest
Oh,
abysmal failure of all time.
Yeah,
Um,
dude, I remember
Ubisoft.
when we got that. Like, we had a full like party over at my house, and we were like, "Oh, we're gonna fucking."
we had a
like,
whole
jam
thing
out.
planned.
Yeah,
and we couldn't
We're
even
gonna
fucking
do
play
all
the game.
We gotta do all the things, and we didn't do shit.
Now, what was worse, that or Battlefield 4? Because it's
Nah,
like
man.
my memory was hazy.
Bro, MCC was the most atrocious thing. You couldn't get you couldn't get anything. You couldn't
Yeah,
do
the
anything.
first
You couldn't
day.
play the game,
No.
bro.
Well, you could play the campaign. That's really what I got it for.
But
Yeah,
we're
that's
not
true.
talking about Rainbow Six though, right? Or we're
yeah.
not talking about Halo, because we could probably go into that whole thing on how it was
Yeah.
broken for probably quite a while. But
You
so-
are not my mom.
well, I can kick you off the show though. So
No,
I'm
really
technically
the biggest,
the mom of the show, if we want to pull that one.
Whatever,
The biggest-
show mom.
There
the
you
biggest
go.
thing
Sorry,
with
Sheila,
Rainbow
I'm sorry.
Six Siege that with this update though, honestly, like giving you the attachments and you don't have to pay for them no more, like with renown and stuff you build up.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought that's pretty dope. But being that I've been on it since it came out for 3 years, 4 years now, I'm like, what happened to all the renown I spent? Can I get like a refund? Can I get reparations? Can I get something?
Well, do you-
Reparations.
Well, I
you
mean,
think-
like, to be
Not
fair, it's
exactly
only this like mode is only going to be here for like 30 days. So maybe when it comes out fully, like after they do their like tweaks and stuff, I'm sure they would give you guys like something.
I returned to RB6 after like 5 days of owning it.
That's because you're
do it
weak.
either.
Like you can't play that game, bro.
Hey, I don't
Oh, yeah,
blame
I'm
you,
like-
man. 'Cause I wasn't a big fan, but I am a big fan of the Chimera update. I think it's
I
really
wish
cool.
that I could play this without having to buy RB6. That's what I wish.
like a standalone mode that would be kind of cool, actually.
So
I
it's-
would totally be down for that.
So
guys.
Siege, like,
Good.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, man.
So Siege on a like, if you was going to rank Rainbow Six Siege, compared to all the Rainbow Sixes, where will you put it?
Since I hate them all, I
Ooh.
put it on the same.
Well, all of them
I was
wasn't
gonna say he
bad.
doesn't like any of them.
To me, like it's not a Rainbow Six thing. Like it's not that I don't like Rainbow Six. I don't like the gameplay. For me, it's way too
Right.
slow. I'm more of a run and gun guy. I think that's why I gravitate more to Battlefield and Call of Duty, Halos, because they're much faster, and I like the faster pace of the games. Where is in Rainbow Six, it's very like tactical, slow, camping like a motherfucker. Like I'm just not into that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on that. I remember, I think the first and only Rainbow Six game that I ever played was the first Rainbow Six, and it came out on N64, and half the game was like planning your attack before it actually happened, and I don't know, it just I never really got interested in the series after that.
Yeah.
No, like honestly, I followed it. Actually, it was Rainbow Six Vegas that got me on Xbox Live and with gamer tags and stuff. And that's the pinnacle. That to me that was great. But Siege is up there, man. I'm happy for Siege because nobody gave it a chance, and it slowly just behind the scenes came up. You had a lot of people playing it, and now you have all these like communities and stuff that stick by it in tournaments. It's
my problem with Rainbow, dude. I feel like it has more tryhards in the community than any other game that I've ever played. Like, well, everybody feels like they're fucking tactical
Spec Ops guys.
Yeah, yeah. Like
no, dude.
And they're sitting there like choking themselves with their military belt while they clean their airsoft rifle.
Jesus,
yeah, I get what you're saying, man, because you got those guys that are like that, but like, bro, if you really look at it, man, we used, like, me and my buddies would play around, we'd make murder holes, you know, we weren't too tactical, we were just having fun, man, and that's all it's about. Like,
what's a murder hole?
Like, if you don't take it like seriously,
you could shoot a hole, like take a shotgun and shoot a hole at the bottom corner of a floor.
And then just sit down there and
walks under you or walks by, you just blast them, bro, if they're not paying attention.
All right.
So the last question I want to ask everybody then is, because of this mode, would you consider buying Rainbow Six on a sale if they brought
not right now because it's only
if they brought it as a full version?
Oh, definitely. I could spend like hours.
Yeah, depending on the price that they put it at, I could see myself picking it up again just to play this mode because it looks fun. I mean, it looks like the type of gameplay I like. I like. Watching you guys, it looked like it was fun. It looks like it's a game that would only be fun if you were playing on a solid team where everybody was talking. I don't know like how the game mode works. Can you like pick up random like pugs for the game or
yeah,
no?
you can.
See, that would be the other thing.
But it's only
you can only have 3 people.
Yeah.
So
I hope they open. Yeah, I hope they open
so
that up.
Daz, does that bother you being a Rainbow Six fan?
You mean Destro?
Well, I can call him Des. I can call him Des. I can go short
sound like
form.
Daz. That's why.
Des.
Yeah, like honestly, at first I wasn't happy with like the 3. The only reason I'm assuming they did 3 is because if you do 4 or 5, like in the regular game, it might be a little bit easier.
Mm-hmm.
It is much you. The
Well,
cool thing about this
thing, though, dude.
Yeah, I think the cool thing about this though is, you know, just like you and GKB and you like faster paced shooters. Like me, I'm going in with a silencer, trying to be all stealthy and tactical.
Oh, that's me.
GKB come in, just blasting away, making all this noise.
I'm the guy that would just empty a clip on the first person I saw on a stealth mission.
That's exactly what I did, bro.
He did.
They're all like, "Yo, let's put silencers on." And I'm just like, "Nah, I'm gonna go kill everything."
You want to
we're like, we're gonna put a freaking silencer on, turn our flashlights on, and he goes in there with a shotgun, just
making noise. I'm like,
yeah.
"Come on,
yeah,
come get
works.
it."
Bro, if you're gonna come at me with an alarm, like I want them to sound off every alarm, and I'm just gonna turtle and just kill everybody.
We're gonna survive and we're gonna die. It don't matter.
I would rather slaughter every person in that level than hide like some bitch. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you, bro.
Wow.
All right. We can talk about Rainbow Six forever. Let's go ahead and move on. This is another surprising announcement to me. This came out of left field. Like, the Division 2 has officially been announced. Like, crazy.
I'm already squirting.
Which, you know what's funny? So I can say that it was 2 years ago that we actually talked about the Division 1 on the very first console corner.
Yep.
And yes, Foxy, it was when I first met Fox. But it's crazy that they're talking about bringing out a second one because they just finally got the first one fixed to where actually people are enjoying it. They just got it fixed. So now you're going to bring out another one?
That's the thing I'm like, and his announcement was like, "Hey guys, and we're totally going to get it right this time." I'm like, that doesn't bode well with me. You should have got it right the first time.
Here's my thing, man. And this is what I thought, and I've talked to a couple of my other buddies. Shout out to Nappy Weave in the chat. You know I love you, dog.
What's up, Nappy?
If the Division 2 can come on par with what the Division 1 is right now.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, like right now, like what it is right now. Yeah.
Yeah, like what they have now, like the Division now is what the game should have been the entire time because the Division now is has everything that the original bait or the original didn't have. It's got replayability. It's got a grind mode to where you can. I mean, because you know me, GKB, you too. That grind for gear and that grind for that perfect piece of gear is like that keeps me enthralled in games. That's put me at the thousands of hours that I have in Diablo. Is that grind to make my character the best just for end game. Like a solid end game beats any like campaign, any like starting experience. Like
that's what keeps you coming back, man.
Yeah, you can have a shit experience all the way through the game. Like Diablo is not fun. Like playing through the campaign, it's not. It's all about the end game.
Yep.
And if you can have a solid end game, that's what's gonna keep your player base indefinitely. I mean, how old is Diablo 3? And it still has a huge player base.
Yeah, every season it's like just blows up.
But like from what it sounds like, you're saying that if they can
confirmed.
You're saying that if they can make the sequel as good as the first game is right now, if they can nail what they have right now, then you're all for it. Why, if they've got the first game down packed, wouldn't it be better for them to just, come out with a huge DLC that also like patched a lot of the game if they wanted to do like an enhancement patch to make it look better or anything like that?
I agree with that, but I mean, there's a certain you gotta like think about storyline. What are they gonna be pushing for this new story? You know what I mean?
I think they're gonna be a new city.
But I mean, even if they were to do a new city, I don't see why that couldn't just be like a huge DLC, unless they're totally revamping the engine and everything else about the game.
Well, they talked about that. I agree. They have a new Snowdrop engine or a new revision of the Snowdrop engine that the new one's gonna be on.
And so then if they are coming out with a new engine, there's no guarantee that what they've coded into the game with all the updates up until this point in time is going to make it over there, because whenever you go into a new engine, like, things got to be tweaked a lot. So, them coming out with a sequel with a new engine, to me, what that says is like, okay, when this game comes out, maybe I'll check it out in 6 months to a year after they work out all the kinks, because I still have a bad taste in my mouth from the first one.
I totally agree with you, like Mike, on that one, because like xSheWulf and I, and like on those shows that we were talking about before, like we were in every beta. We played it for fucking hours and hours and hours of that beta, and then it came out, and we were just like, "What happened?" Like
we grinded the whole thing. We knew. Okay, so the type of gamers we are is we'll play a game until we are complete level, and then we'll have fun with it, and we were fine with that because we pretty much did everything within a week, but we knew that was going to happen. But then they started taking out all the things that we enjoyed. Then levels started getting erased, and then
they killed like. So the first thing they brought, like with the incursions, right? The incursions were oh man, this is the new thing. This is gonna be the grind. This is gonna be the end game, right? And it came out. First of all, that shit was hard as hell.
It was super hard.
Second of all, which I don't have a problem with, but there was no reward to it. You got a couple of pieces of that gear. Yeah. Now that they have
the reward didn't fit how much time and effort you put into it, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't agree with you more. And they need what I think is going to make Division 2 work is a more robust gear system.
Yes.
A
you
deeper.
Know what they're gonna do? They're probably going to turn it into like a PUBG freaking style game, just because everything's going to...
They kind of already have that, though, with the Dark Zone. It's a battle royale type kind of thing.
I'm going to tell you something.
Dark Zone is like the ultimate... Dark Zone's the ultimate, like, survival section, you know what I mean? Like, Dark Zone has new people coming into it all the time.
Go ahead, Desho. Break in here, bro.
I'm gonna tell you straight up. They should have never put a Division 2, period.
Come on, baby. Don't be saying that now. Come on.
I'm saying it, bro. Because you know what? They could have spent more time on giving me another Splinter Cell, bro. They should have
stopped at RB5 then. You know what I'm saying? They should have stopped at RB5.
No, I'm saying they should have took if they've just perfected the first one, like Mike said, okay? If they just perfected it, why pop out a new one? The only reason to pop out a new one is because everybody's jumping on board for the first one, and now they want the money because the second one, because too many people were disappointed with the first one.
Hey, that's fair. Like, absolutely.
But they could have spent their time making another Splinter Cell, and we would have been.
I think that's still coming, man. I think Splinter Cell is definitely around the corner.
And the only benefit that they have to making a sequel is that it's going to get it hyped up, and it's probably going to reinvigorate the player base. But if they make the same mistakes they made the first time around, that player base is going to spike when the first week or two of launch, and then it's going to die just like first.
It depends on how they execute, though, man.
Is like they like really hype a game, it comes out, it fails completely, and then later on they eventually get everything right, and then everybody's jumping into it.
Yeah,
They know the
but-
winning they know the winning formula though. Like
Yeah,
the
they
stuff
got
that
it now.
they have in that they've included this first game. That's what everybody wanted from the Division in the first place. This awesome first person survival, like MMO style, like shooter game. And
Yeah, but
that's
Wildlands was great, man.
yeah, but Wildlands isn't the MMO style like that Division was touted
And
as when it
Wildlands gets
first
really
came out.
repetitive really quickly.
Division was touted as this like this grinder game, you know, and it's a shooter looter. Like you get like the best loot and like that. I don't know what it does. And Noof was asking me, he's like, "Why does every game have to be a grind?" He was asking in the chat, but like that's what I like. I like having something to shoot for no matter what. Getting that perfect set of gear drives me to play a game like that. And that's like, what the Division is supposed to be. Like that's what it was marketed as.
I mean, look at Diablo 3, like what Brewtal was saying. Like you're constantly going in there. You want to get that final set piece. You want to get that primal. You want to get that thing just to take you to that
that's what
next
I'm saying,
level.
Man. I mean, I've had a character that's on paper perfect, except one piece of gear. I'm like, damn, it's not.
Just needs to be a little bit better. A little bit better.
I could get 2 more greater rifts if I get this piece of gear. Yeah. It'll pump my damage just enough to get
itself
2 more.
Though, when yes, the Dark Zone was actually probably one of the best ideas that games came up with because, like Brewtal said, people were always coming in. You never had. It
was a great idea, but nobody wanted to do it
because of the fact that you lost more than what you got when you died in there. So nobody wanted to take a chance, and then of course the NPCs, they were just outrageous.
Well, that's the part of the incentive to get good. That's part of the incentive to grind.
But
and outside of Dark Zone though, Division now, not early release, not Division 2-3 years ago. Division now has so many outlets to where you can go grind to get that gear. That you can then go into the Dark Zone and hit the high end level, Dark Zones and get into that PvP. There's guys in that high end PvP section that melted me without even trying. And it's
you're
all
like
about
shooting them, their health ain't even going down. It's like what?
Yeah, it's all about gear optimization. It's all about like building the right class of gear for what you're trying to do. And I think that speaks to me as like a gamer. Like I like that shit. Like I don't.
I'm with you, Brewtal. I think I'm getting on board with Division 2.
I think it all comes down to who you are as a gamer and what kind of games you like, because there are plenty of us out there that are happy to get 20 to 30 hours worth of gameplay out of a game. We feel like we've more than gotten our money's worth, but there are definitely the people out there that, you know, they want those type of games that allow you to grind, that they can give you hundreds of hours of content. And, you know, the Division, Destiny 2, Diablo 3, games like that, those are for those people that want hundreds of hours out of their games, you know.
Yeah. And then,
I'm more of a single player gamer, so if I get 20 to 30 hours, that's $60 worth well spent to me.
Mike, don't get me wrong, man. Like I was just having this conversation with a couple of my buddies, and like at GKB the other week, we were having this conversation. Like I love the competitive like grind, like just get in there and just spend a lot of time on a game. But every once in a while, it's nice for me to just be able to play a single player, relax, do what I need to do on the game, whether it's grinding levels out or whether it's just experiencing the story. Because don't get me wrong, like I love a good story in a game. If a game gives me 20-30 hours of gameplay out of it just to experience a really in-depth solid story, like Hellblade for example, The Witcher has a lot of gameplay in it. It's not a grinding type game, but it's a game where you can enjoy the story. I like them both, but just if I had to pick one, if you're gonna put
I like more
I guess my
MMO
stance
style
is
games.
I guess my stance is if you're offering the grind mode for it, the gear and in-game experience, then just back it up to where you can give somebody who's a hardcore like myself that can really just put the time into it that they want to put into it. And that's where Division 1 is now. So maybe you're right, Destro. Maybe they should just put out a huge DLC or something. Maybe they shouldn't put out a whole new game, but if that's the route they're going, I'm just sitting here hoping that when they do put out 2, that they nail it, because it's going to let down a lot of people after the first one flops so hard.
100%, man. 100%.
I think it's going to be a Destiny 2. That's what I'm feeling from it.
Dude, come on, man. Why do you got to say it? Why do you got to breathe negative energy out into the air?
It's just, you know, I'm SithlordMike Rich.
I got a brand new air purifier in my house, and you're contaminating it and making it work overtime right now.
See, I agree with you.
Spilling all this negativity out into the air right now.
I'm sorry.
The
I'm
problem
sorry.
is most of the time when they decide to do second ones, it's because they think that, oh, now they're biting onto the first one. Let's do it. Let's throw it out. But then they don't actually make things better because they try to change things that don't actually need to be changed, which is
That's
what
true.
Destiny 2 did.
Yeah.
And
That's the
people don't
gaming
want to play it now.
That's the gaming industry 101, though.
But that's where the division could fail.
We stoked our whole player base up. Let's throw out another one. Look how cool it's gonna be. I'm already approaching Division 2 cautiously because I'm not.
I am. I ain't getting all hyped again. I almost got a tattoo of the first one because I was so hyped.
I'm not even gonna lie. Like,
Oh, wow.
I'm getting like
no,
Division 2.
it was like my
I wanna
game.
get a,
Like I was so like.
I want to give Sith real quick a chance to, because I think he was gonna go somewhere, so I wanted to give him a chance, and then we're gonna move on. What were you gonna say, Sith?
What about Destiny 2 thing?
Yeah,
I mean,
I wanna hear it, man.
Everyone know it. Everyone, this is just a cash grab. It's another loot box. Let me take your money type of thing. I think that's where it's
That's
going.
a fair point. I mean,
I don't think like the content. I mean, you just talk about like a type of gamer, Brutal. Everyone like the story, stuff. It's just about like the quality of what you're getting, and the quality could be hundreds of hours doing repetitive things and different cosmetic items, which a lot of people out there, like. I mean, that's why microtransactions are so awesome. Got $1 billion because everyone just care about cosmetics. They don't actually care about
Sith, you mentioned cosmetics, so
I'm just saying that's what it is. That's what you're grinding for.
No,
that's cosmetics.
That's not the case, man. Like if you're grinding, I'm talking about grinding for gear that's gonna make you advance better at the end of the game. Like,
what I'm talking about is you're playing the game and you're getting better by actually playing and not actually getting like some type of loot that artificially makes you greater at the game.
But the whole point of the whole point of the game though is to get better gear. Like why drop better weapons that deal more DPS? Why have a DPS ranking at all for weapons? Like the whole point of the game, like this Diablo, is to get the gear that matches your character's playstyle, and two, that gets you to the highest that you can achieve out of whether it may be any type of challenge in the game. Diablo, for example, has greater rifts, and that's how they judge like the leaderboards in the game. Like at heart, I'd pick a competitive game over a relaxing, like fun game any day of the week. I like them as a break, but I like.
But is it really? Is it? I'm not saying like of course Siege and Destiny, and it has some competitive aspect to it. But like what I'm saying is that it's kind of like the core of the loot box thing. It's like
playing it just to get a random chance of
like a slimy like snake oil deal where it's like it gives you like the illusion.
That was awesome.
It gives you the illusion that you're doing something, but it's really just giving you. Bro, like they're just changing the numbers.
All right, guys. We could go on forever with this topic, but we got to move on, man. We've been spending a lot of time on there. It's a great topic.
Whatever, show dad.
All right, let's go ahead and get into the next one because this is a game I really want to talk about. State of the Decay 2 officially has a release date of May 22nd. What do you guys think of this?
Okay, hold on. So the way that State of Decay 2 is working is it's going to actually have two different versions that are releasing. You're going to have the standard edition, which is going to only cost you $30, or you can get the ultimate edition, which will cost you $50, and this will actually allow you to play the game on May 18th. So you'll actually get to play it early, which is actually really cool. And it's also giving you the season pass, so you'll also get all of the DLC, and you get State of Decay 1.
That's awesome.
$50.
How early is
the 18th? I think.
The
18th
You get like 3 days early or something like
it's
that.
like 3 days because the game releases on May 22nd. You
Can I
get to
hurt
play
some
it
people's
on May
feelings
18th.
now?
Well, that's what Microsoft's been doing with their Ultimate Editions. Like they did that with Forza Horizon 3. I'm pretty sure they had a Forza 7, Gears of War 4. They had these Ultimate Editions where the base game is going to release on Tuesday, but you get that Ultimate Edition, you get it on Friday. So that's nice to be able to play it a weekend before everybody else does, especially for an old fart like me who games on the weekends and not too much during the weekdays. You know, getting a new game on Tuesday, it's like, all right, I'm going to sit here and look at you for another 3 or 4 days before I actually get to pop you in.
I'm going to hurt some feels out there because I am totally, this is my most anticipated game of Xbox. Like, I don't give a shit about Sea of Thieves. I don't care about Crackdown 3.
Oh my
I care about State of Decay 2 because this.
GKB,
and there's a
I just
collector's
fell,
edition.
I just fell
My
more
bad,
in love
I
with you
forgot,
than I think
yes,
I already had.
Yes, my bad. There is a collector's edition for this game as well, which you get like a zombie mask, and I think it's a mask or it's a head.
And it's only like $70 instead of
Yeah.
paying like $130 or $150. You get this awesome collector's edition for
Yeah.
$70.
Does it come with the game?
Yes.
I believe so,
Well,
yeah.
at least the digital version. I don't know about a real copy.
Yeah.
Let's ask 2 questions real quick.
Let's go.
What was the secondary, the Ultimate Edition? How much was that worth? 50.
50.
Cyber,
Is that worth the DLC? That's the only question, because to me, do you guys think that 3 days in advance is worth however much money extra it is? What?
No, but I think
$20?
it comes with the first game too.
It
though.
does. You get the first State of Decay game.
So if you don't have that, I think it's worth that.
Oh, you
Because-
mean Xbox doesn't put it on back compat fucking special jerk off edition where you can just
I
still
wouldn't
play it
think
for
that's
no-
the
Yes,
case.
it's
It's an Xbox
remastered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
It was never a 360 game. And to be honest, I kind of agree with the whole joke about State of Decay, only because the reason nobody really played the first one was because it didn't have co-op. So why would you go back to the first one?
Because it's
when you
fucking
get-
fantastic.
Really? Did you
The
beat
first
it?
game was really good.
See,
Yeah.
this is
Yes,
an
I
issue
did.
I could
There's 3
already-
campaigns in
You
there.
didn't beat it.
There's 3.
Pretty sure you
The
didn't.
I'm
first
pretty
one
sure I
was
did.
Pretty sure you
awesome.
didn't.
Yo,
And the people,
everybody
look,
out there,
honestly,
go
the
fucking
people
check
that
my
said-
profile right now and go tell Shewa if I beat that fucking thing because she's wrong.
I don't think you beat it.
Shout out to Siberia CB for the $2
Thanks,
donation.
Cyber.
Yeah, that's what I was
Awesome,
trying
dude.
to read out. Next month
But-
I will be a Patreon supporter. We will have much love for you, regardless.
I want to go back to my everybody's freaking out about like Sea of Thieves and fucking Crackdown 3 and this, that, and the other. I think those are shit compared to this game. Like I
Dude,
absolutely loved State of Decay
GKB,
1.
when you get the waves of these fanboys coming after you, I will
I
stand
give
shoulder
two
to
shits,
shoulder
bro.
with you and chop them down by the hundreds.
And
I'm not
speaking
saying
of
like
the
Sea of
waves,
Thieves
by the
isn't a
way,
good game or whatever like that, but I
you've
think
got such beautiful waves.
yeah, I
I'm
think
mu-
what
I'm much
strokes
more
like
excited
my
about-
my gameplay is like State of Decay. Like
Yeah,
and what
yeah,
I
I'm
wanted
mu-
from the
I'm
first
much more
game is
excited about
4-play.
State of Decay than anything else, dude.
Yeah, I wanted the 4-player co-op. That's the only thing that game needed. And then I saw like the
But
IGN
Sea of Thieves
gameplay.
has that. The Sea of Thieves has
Bro,
the multiplayer.
Come
I mean,
on,
nobody
man.
cares
Let's-
about
hold
the
on,
campaign.
hold on.
I mean, it has the
JKB's
multiplayer.
thing is he's a zombie. Like, he loves zombies.
More than that,
It
though.
got skeletons though.
More than that, though, like it's a world where it's permadeath. Number one, so you actually have to like think about what you're doing and how
Are we
like
really,
good.
are we really comparing Sea of Thieves?
Come on, you can compare
Come
it.
on, Sith, come on, bro.
Also, wasn't the
Skeletons, zombies, they're both undead. You know, it's multiplayer.
You have realistic to cartoon.
Yeah,
Stretch
right.
real thin right now.
I'm sorry,
Well,
man.
you
I
have
think State of Decay is
running
the one.
Look, I'm
around a whole,
trying.
like, you can't compare the two games. Okay, so first off, let's stop comparing them, because regardless, they are two.
Yeah, they're totally
They
different.
may be the same aspect of a multiplayer game, but they are two completely, utterly different games. And when it comes to State of Decay 2, I think what they did was absolutely outstanding. Watching the gameplay, just the whole environment looked amazing. And it actually made you feel like you were in that zombie apocalypse world, where a lot of people have been asking for something like that. And now you can run around with 3 of your friends. Like, they can actually grab the zombies while you, like, bash them. Which is kind of funny, though, because I was watching the gameplay, and, like, one of the times when, like, one of the girls grabbed one of the zombies, the other one, like, ran up and hit it with, like, a hammer or something, and then ended up hitting the girl, too, and you, like, see her head, like, flap back. And I was like, why would you hold a zombie and get smacked by your own friend? But I don't know if there's, like, if they have,
Gotta get them when
friendly
you
fire
can.
on or anything. Like, I don't know if they'll have that.
They have like
but
Molotov cocktails and all that kind
Do
of stuff.
they?
Yeah.
But I think this was one of the best ideas that they came out with.
And the studio was smart, right? They heard the fans. They knew what they wanted. They gave them more of the same of the first one and just added 4-player co-op. Like, boom, it's a fucking winner. You don't hear anybody complaining about this game. Well, you heard them complaining about the price of it, which I was like, are you kidding me? Like, you thought this was going to be like a AAA.
All right,
craziness?
can we caveat and just make a little subsection real quick so we can talk about why the fuck did anybody complain about the price of the game?
I don't understand it, dude. Like a $30 game and it's going to be fantastic. Like, why are you complaining?
It's the quality. Look, I'm happy that it's $30, but it's just the promise of the quality of a full-fledged Unreal Engine 5000.
I get the idea that a cheaper price doesn't portray a quality AAA title. I get that some people get. I don't know. Either way, all right. So State of Decay. Anybody that's played it before should see State of Decay 2 at $30 and be like, shit. I mean, why not?
Deal.
Right?
Yeah. No,
my question.
Second of all,
is this. Hold on a sec. My question is this: do you think it went down in price because of the Game Pass?
Nah.
People have been like talking about that. I don't know if that has any inflection on like the price at all. Like, to be honest, because the first one was super cheap too. Like,
it was like $20.
I think people like expectations for what makes a good game, and you're going by price is really ludicrous to me, because I could tell you right now, I've played a shit ton of $5 fucking indie games that I will play over a lot of those fucking AAA titles.
Damn
fucking
right.
Garbage.
I'm not saying the price point
I'm gonna wash your feet tonight.
Is a question of how good the game is. I'm just asking, do you think that they lowered the price from what they?
I don't think so. I don't think because of the first
I don't
game.
think it was directly because of Game Pass, but think about this too. Like, as good as State of Decay 1 was, it wasn't a blow the doors down like bestseller of the century. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean,
Honestly,
coming out of it,
I think they put the price what it is because they want to pull. They noticed how well Recore sold with a $30 price tag. Like, you can't tell me Xbox isn't stupid in any way about how to sell their games, because that is definitely something that they have been making sure that their games at least get out there to the people.
I can definitely tell you how stupid Xbox is, because they could come out with like single player games with stories and stuff, and it doesn't always have to be.
Come at me if you guys want to. You can add me at Brewtal Knight on Twitter. Come at me.
I'm coming on you.
Please. My question is I mean, what epic storylines is Xbox releasing lately? I'll wait.
Lately,
At all.
Well, last year, if you include last year, I mean,
Quantum Break was pretty good.
What was it?
I say Quantum Break was pretty good, but
I
thought their sci-fi like time travel thing was like, but
I mean, going back to Quantum Break, I mean, that's even before Gears 4. So I'd say Gears 4 is probably the latest.
Gears. All right, Gears. Their long-standing franchise. Okay, I'll give you that. Gears is fucking gorgeous. I'm not gonna lie about that. Xbox just seems to be putting out
multiplayers.
I don't know, man.
But that's because
I don't know. I don't know
that's a
how
lot for us to blame, though. Like, just the whole gamer society, like social media, kind of. They tend to they're like, oh my god, I want the multiplayers. So then Xbox puts out the multiplayers, but then then they turn around and they're like, no, we want the single players. So then they're like, oh, okay, well then we'll start. It's kind of like you do if you like. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Like, regardless.
I completely agree with you on that part. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Well, I'm on board with that. But let me ask, look at the stuff that PlayStation is coming out with, that we know we have a definite coming out date for, that we've already had, that PlayStation has released. And I'm not trying, God forbid that I start a console war to anybody listening, because everybody knows how much I love that shit. But my question is everything that comes out, including the State of Decay, and I'm really excited for State of Decay 2. I really am. But State of Decay 1 wasn't like a blockbuster. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It was a sleeper. It was a very niche title.
Well, to me, it was a blockbuster. To me,
but I'm not talking about on a
small
personal level though. I'm talking about the ones that are getting Doritos Sponsored.
Oh, then you got to put a whole bunch of loot boxes in it. You put some grinding mechanic, and then you slap a loot box on it. There you go.
Nice.
You got your Call of Duty.
Sith knows what gets me, bro. I'm waiting for everybody to get pissed when you have a loot box that has a Johnny Depp skin in it for Sea of Thieves and see what everybody says.
You know that's coming, bro. You know
they
that's
will
coming.
pay for that shit,
bro. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like loot boxes ain't dead. And we had this conversation last week. Like, where we're getting off topic,
Yeah,
and
we're getting
like
way off topic, guys.
the main point that I was trying to make is that $30 for State of Decay is a perfect price point in my opinion. It's not a blockbuster. They can't expect people to pay $60 for it. No matter how good it looks, no matter how much you enjoyed it, like Mike said, it's a niche title, and $30 fits right in a niche title with a good game with AAA graphics, and I think that's gonna fit perfectly for what the game is. Because I think if people paid $60 for it, they would feel it's lacking at the end of the game. To be honest with you,
and I also feel like the most important thing is the game itself is very enjoyable, especially for zombie fans out there who want that realistic zombie simulation type of game. And for $30, like let's say maybe they did reduce the price because they know it's going into Game Pass. If that game goes into Game Pass and enough people subscribe to that service and they really get hooked on the game, I don't know that all the paid DLC is also going to be added to Game Pass. So let's say you have that Game Pass subscription, you might be spending another $20 once DLC comes out and stuff like that.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on. We've been like crazy into these conversations, man. It's awesome. Yeah, we're gonna do it in a minute. We're gonna do one more topic, and then we're gonna get into what's out now. With Mike, bringing it back, people. We're bringing it back.
Or instead of just, you ask me what time to do, and then I tell you what
I
time.
don't listen to
and
you,
then
She-Wolf. You don't run this show.
So
I
stop
run this
asking
show.
my opinion then.
All right, guys, let's talk about Hellblade coming to the Xbox One. So there was a report that the Taiwan's game software rating board kind of like outed it, and they've outed a few other games too, and it turned out to be true. To be honest, though, I'm not really surprised this happened. Like, Sony put in money, they got the timed exclusivity for a little bit of while. I played Hellblade on the PC, and I thought it was a phenomenal game. Definitely wear some headphones when you play that game. It's very awesome. Touches on some PTSD and people with mental issues and all that kind of stuff. So, really good game.
I'm excited to play the game, but I mean, I remember when this game first launched on PS4, we were talking about how the wording of its exclusivity didn't say it was like a permanent exclusive or anything like that. It always sounded like it was going to be timed. So I wasn't surprised to hear that it might become an Xbox because that's kind of seems like old news.
Yeah. I mean, but I've seen like some stuff too on social media and being like, don't bring that trash over here and this, that, and the other. And people that are saying that like absolutely have no idea what they're talking about because that's a fantastic
Can we just like take those people, Xbox, if you're listening, shut down their gamer tag and just don't let them play any games anymore, please. Just destroy them virtually. Just get rid of them. Like, who says that? Who says he sees a good game coming to their platform and they're like, nah, I don't want it. Or like, no
one's forcing you to buy it.
Or like PlayStation guys too, talking all salty because Crash is coming to the Switch, or you know what I mean? Like, people get pissed off over things that are just
stupid.
Like, why are you getting mad that other people get to experience the thing that you've had the pleasure of experiencing? I'm not
upset about it. I just think it's just the principle of it. It's kind of like it's like, you know, I'm a Patriots fan. I know people are gonna kill me. But, you know, Tom Brady retires.
All right, we gotta have a talk.
Kick him off.
I'm a Dolphin.
I'm from New England. You know, I'm from Hartford.
All right, guys, stop talking over each other.
I'm just saying, like, if I see Tom Brady retire on another team, I'm gonna feel some type of way. You know, if he retire with the Giants, I'm gonna be upset. Yeah. You know, it's crossing the line. So with Crash, it's like kind of like seeing Halo on a PlayStation. I'm gonna pass out. It's like seeing Sonic on Nintendo Switch.
I don't get that though, man. Like, there's this pride for your system, like when in the end game, like the end goal is to just be able to have good games. And if the game that's quote unquote yours just because you play on that system has moved over to another console because it's that good, then that's just more bragging rights to you. So
not to mention more sales and possibly more games from that developer.
See,
I mean,
that's
all good.
what my whole thing has always been when it comes to the whole exclusivity to a console, is the fact that the more games that are sold means the more games that is making money, which means more money that the developers are getting, which means more games that they are able to make for the consoles. I don't, if you want time exclusives, fine, have your time exclusives, but I don't think a game should be just exclusive to one console, only because of the fact that you have to think of the developers. They put all this hard work into developing these games, and yes, okay, they like it obviously on one console or the other, but isn't it better just to have it go out to all gamers in general and not just like sit there and hold it tight and be like, oh my god, no, it's only mine? Because it shouldn't be. First off, you didn't make it, so you got to play it, you got to enjoy it. Shouldn't you want other gamers to enjoy it as well?
The developers should have the right to put it on whatever platform they want to. And I mean, SithlordMike Rich, I mean, I understand your loyalty to wanting to have that home team stay at home and not retire somewhere else, but when we're talking about Crash Bandicoot, we're talking about a game that has released on multiple platforms in the past.
Exactly. I mean, Crash Bandicoot was on Xbox. Was on the OG Xbox.
It was on the OG Xbox. It was on the GameCube. It was, on the Xbox 360. There's a port. So it's not like this is a hardcore Sony only game. That's only. I mean, we're not getting Twisted Metal on the Xbox One. All right, we're getting a Crash Bandicoot game that's been on many platforms over many years.
Yeah, I have to agree with that.
It's kind of like when the whole rumor about Mario coming to Xbox. You didn't see anyone saying, no, it has to stay on Nintendo. No. Everybody was like, oh, shit, that would be freaking badass if Mario ends up on the Xbox.
See, that's the thing.
Why is that okay?
Like, to what SheWulf said, like...
Because it's Mario.
Everybody loves Mario.
Okay, so
Everybody loves
Mario.
The whole,
Mario is an
Crash, just
exclusive.
The whole, like, fanboy console war, like literally just like hating on people because they get to play a game that was originally on your I'm air quoting as hard as I can right now, guys. Like on your console, like why? I don't get the hate. I don't get the whole console war thing, period. And I'm not gonna go further into
the only thing I can see, this is a bad thing.
So heated. Makes me so heated that people get mad that other people get to experience it.
The only thing that I can see that this makes kind of a little bit of sense is if you're, let's say you're making a game and you're making it for 10,000 devices, and each device is different. It's kind of like the quality, it kind of gets diluted a little bit instead of focusing. It's like when they're exclusive, like your Uncharted's or your Halos, like it takes the full power of the console that is developed on. It uses every little nits and grit. Like even when the Xbox One, like a lot of the exclusives was hitting higher resolutions than it was, third parties were hitting. So that's the only way I can see this as a bad thing, is that the time and resources, unless it's like some blanket, hey, one size fits all. I can make it for one console and it's easy to port to all, but you still got to change like little logos. There's a lot of little things behind the scenes that you got to, code for it. So that's the only thing I can see that's bad for it, other than, the pride.
Yeah, I mean, the extra time it takes and stuff like that. All right, guys, let's go ahead and move on to what's out now. Play this.
Bang, boom, kapow, it's what's out now. Are those really the lyrics?
Don't question my genius.
All right, Mike, take it away. What's out now, brother?
Yo, what's up, everybody? We're going to be talking about What's Out Now, where we talk about all the awesome video game goodness has been released in the past week in between episodes. So, starting with Tuesday, March 6th, for the PSVR, we got a game called Bravo Team that came out. We were talking up some awesome Rainbow Six Siege earlier in the podcast. Bravo Team looks like it's going to be that Rainbow Six game for your VR headset that you really want to play, but from what I've heard, it's more of a light gun shooter, so take it for what it is. If you like light gun shooters, then this is definitely the VR game for you. Also, on the 6th, for the PC, we got Final Fantasy 15 the Windows edition. Apparently, they're trying to come out with as many editions as they have sequels. Speaking of the number of editions coming out for this game, that same day for the Xbox One and the PS4, Final Fantasy 15, the Royal Edition, came out. It's Final Fantasy 15, and this time it's Royal, baby.
Ooh, yeah.
Then the next day, on March 7th, for the PC, we got Northgard. This was a full release. It's a real-time strategy game using Norse mythology. So, you know, if you like that RTS and you like Norse mythology, you want to bring down Thor and rain some awesome electricity on all the bad guys, that's the game for you. Then, in Steam Early Access on March 7th, we got a game called The Dead Dozen. And oh, okay, yeah, okay. So this was a game that it's a multiplayer survival horror type game, and you start out as a human. If you die, you become a ghoul. So you're pretty much becoming the bad guys that the other human players are fighting against. So it reminded me a lot of that PUBG zombie mode that we've been hearing rumors of. So if you're looking for that zombie mode now,
is that like self-contained in one match, or is that like indefinitely?
This is what's out now, not in-depth reviews. Thank you, Brewtal. So the answer is I don't know. I read my snippet. That's all I got. Put me on the spot here. You know,
I hate you, Mike.
I hate you too, man. All right. All right. On March 8th, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. On March 8th, we got Warhammer Vermintide 2 for the PC. This is the sequel. It's a first-person shooter. The last one actually was just released with Games with Gold and got an Xbox One X enhancement. So if you like the first one, the second one just came out on PC March 8th. Then that same day for the Switch, we got two games. We got Bleed 2 and Steretin Binary Stars. Both of these are pixel art games. Bleed 2 is more of a side scroller, reminding me a lot of like the Mega Man type games. And Sterenden Binary Stars is a side scrolling spaceship shooter game, kind of like Galaga. Nice. And that, everybody, is what's out now.
Awesome. That was great.
Would have been nice to have an in-depth review, but okay.
It's what's out now, not in-depth reviews. Come on.
Yeah, Brutal. Jeez, bro.
Bro, I'm feeling a bunch of people like ganging up on me right now. I don't understand what's going on.
Gee, I wonder why.
It was like ganging up on me right now because I asked a simple question about a game that sounded interesting.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's get into the next
Google
one.
it.
You know what? I'm glad I interested you in it, and if you are interested in it further, then look it up. I'm not Google.
Yeah, buddy.
I got a deep interest right now.
All right, let's go ahead and get into, we're going to start talking about Inside Xbox, and then we're going to go into the Nintendo Direct stuff. Two big shows that happened this week. We're going to go ahead and jump in Inside Xbox reactions, and let's discuss some stuff. So, they went through quite a few things. Mostly Sea of Thieves.
Sorry, guys. I thought I heard it Inside Xbox, and I essentially fucking fell asleep.
Oh, it was definitely pretty bad.
Oh, you mean a couple?
It was bad.
It was definitely pretty bad.
And scramble
Okay,
for anything Sea of Thieves related that we could talk about. Is that what you meant? Because that's what I got from it. But I'm sorry.
Hold on. First
Go ahead,
off,
XSheWulf.
yes, okay, they talked a lot about Sea of Thieves. We got
A
that.
lot?
Yes.
Like the whole fucking show was Sea of Thieves.
80%. Hey man, show me how you play this shitty old instrument.
There was some new things that we did learn about.
All right, fair enough. Like the Skull Island stuff, and like you can grab some animals and stuff and capture them.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my whole take on Inside Xbox. Yeah, it was a bit of a snore fest for people like us. But when it comes to the casual gamer, the person that doesn't keep up on all the gaming news, that maybe has their YouTube subscription on the Xbox channel or whatever, if this pops up for them, that's a lot of good information for them to have about new games that are coming out.
Yes,
but for the hardcore gamer, it's not our type of show.
Yeah.
No, they should be actually, Mike. They should be watching Console Corner so they know not to waste.
Oh,
it.
you're still here?
All
I was
right.
wondering where you
That's
were.
what I'm talking about, Destro. You plug it, bro. You plug it, buddy.
I'm just saying, dude. Like I would have rather watched Grey's Anatomy than watching something. Okay.
Well, Grey's Anatomy is gripping and telling. Okay. So let's not get started on Meredith Grey.
I thought that was my nickname for you.
Here's the thing, like about Inside Xbox, right? Like I was hoping. Like, I get it, it's not for maybe the hardcore, but they kind of played it up to like, hey, we're totally listening to you, the community, and this, that, and the other. I'm sorry, but the casuals aren't in the community. The hardcore is the ones you're talking to. when it comes to the community. So they should have like put a few things in there to satisfy my need. I get Sea of Thieves is coming out in 10 days. Like, you have been ramming that shit down our throats for quite a while now. You've had a year-long beta test.
But really, what
all
else?
That kind of
but
stuff.
what else do they really have to talk about for this month?
Like,
But it's not like
point.
Hold on, but
That's the whole
Inside
point.
Xbox
Go ahead,
is
go ahead.
supposed to be for it was for this month.
Okay.
That was the whole purpose. Next month there will be another show for that month. So with
So
everything
going
that's
forward,
on,
every
there's not
Inside
a lot-
Xbox is just going to be, hey, here's a marketing ploy
No,
for
there
the
could
game that's
be-
coming out that month.
There could be more going on that month, but the month of March, we all know that there isn't much news.
So we're gonna change the name of Inside Xbox to, hey, in case you don't follow us on Twitter, here, watch this.
Well, technically,
Because-
that's still Inside Xbox.
But here's the thing, like,
Um,
I don't mind if you're spending an hour or whatever plus on Sea of Thieves, but don't bring the same boring shit you've been talking about for the last year. To
Hey
talk about the
guys,
same crap
look how
again.
cool this water looks. It's so nice.
Oh my god! And I
Look at
agree,
these-
like it does look nice, but like literally, you've been
Look at
saying
these-
that for a while. now.
Look at these
I wish they would have
sunsets.
actually
man.
showed the
The
Kraken.
sunsets are so nice.
I do wish they would have actually
Right,
shown
like,
the Kraken.
They
Shut up
sat
to
there
all
and
the
said
screen
Kraken
grabs you
once,
got.
and they didn't show anything.
They didn't actually show.
They didn't
like-
show any of that kind
well,
of
no,
gameplay.
we saw a ship fall over in the water, but we didn't actually get to see
Yeah.
any.
They talked
actual-
about like this cool thing when you become a captain and stuff. Barely even showed that. Like, I get some of the stuff you want to save for the game, but if you're gonna do like a little soundbite about it, like explain it a little bit more. Bring us some more information. I'm sorry, but I really was waiting the whole time for that parrot to jump on that girl because it would have I would have enjoyed the show so much better when I fucking
She
tore
was
her
like
up.
obsessed with that parrot. It was very weird. She was just constantly like,
Well, it was looking like I was gonna fucking kill her. Like it was like, all
I
right,
like
this
the
might be cool.
instrument.
maybe the
instruments
parrot
was
just
nice.
didn't want her staring at it all the time.
Yeah, I literally thought it was way too long.
I'm so glad that you guys, like, the first thing you brought up was just like Sea of Thieves, like overload, because like, good God.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. It's a big game, like for them and whatever.
They did
but
give away.
Yeah, it's a big game for
Which,
them.
Hold on,
Like-
Jamie Moran. I want to point out if
Oh, yeah,
Jamie
he was
Moran
definitely
is
on there.
watching this, we
Gaming
all
Forever, we saw you.
We all saw your name. We all saw your name
Yeah, we
come up.
Well,
We saw
that was
tweet.
That was
that
kind
was
of
super
cool.
exciting.
That was cool.
That was the most exciting part of that show.
do-
It's pretty sad that when I watched that show, what piqued my interest was PicArc or whatever that game was. The
Pixel-
Minecraft,
Pixel
yeah,
Art.
PixArc.
Pixark.
Yeah, that one, like a third-party developer, like piqued my interest. And then when Seamus Bagger
Yeah.
came on and started talking about the Duke
That
controller,
was short.
that was it.
That was the one thing I did say. I thought that, the whole talking about the Duke controller, I thought that was really, really short for the fact that, one, the controller that they showed was just the Green Limited Edition, which there was only 15 prototypes made. That one's not the one being sold. The one that's being sold is actually a black controller with, like, it's wired, and I
And the
guess
black
it's only being
ones-
sold through GameStop, I believe. So I was kind of shocked why they didn't actually go into the actual one that was being released instead of just talking about the prototype that nobody's actually going to get. So I was kind of surprised that they didn't actually go into more details. Like,
Well, they didn't have enough time. They had to talk about Sea of Thieves.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess
Anyway, what did everybody else think about it? Enough of me, like, bashing.
hating
Dude.
on Sea of Thieves?
It was the biggest waste of time that I've ever like I'm like
Everybody in the
Well,
chat
we
agrees
start-
with you because they said it was a snooze fest.
when we started talking about, like, hey, what are we gonna talk about for this show this week? Oh, let's talk about Inside Xbox. Okay, cool. Let's wait to see what happens. Oh well, let's just completely remove that from talking about. I mean, because all it's gonna be is a negativity, just like cesspool of hatred.
Yeah, But we're gonna
there
give
was-
it straight on this show, man. We're not gonna
Bro,
like prop this up like it's a
you've
good
been
thing.
if you've been following Sea of Thieves even to like the slightest degree, like Inside Xbox gave you nothing. It gave you nothing.
Well,
Because-
you got to learn about the skeleton guys. We didn't know about that previously.
Oh well, let's pop the champagne and celebrate that we
I know.
spent 2 hours watching.
But hey, did it? Okay,
shit.
so the one thing I noticed while watching it though, like.
That Larry Herb is like super awkward when he's interviewing people and it feels super scripted. Is that what you
Well,
realized?
yes,
It totally
but-
felt scripted, man.
That,
for
but
sure.
yes, but no, the one guy during the Sea of Thieves, he has the collector's edition of Doom, and he put googly eyes on the friggin' monster.
I noticed that too. That was one of the
I
first.
took a picture of it, and I'm like, did anybody
you guys
actually
are on-
catch that? I wasn't even obviously paying attention to what was going on. I was paying attention to the
The
background.
googly eyes. The googly
But-
You
eyes.
guys are on another level of woke than I am because I didn't even see that. So
Oh,
I took
bro,
a
come
picture
on,
of
man.
it. I took a picture. You didn't notice it too until I told you.
Well, yeah. Once you said it, I was like,
I-
oh, yeah, there's googly eyes.
I would
Yeah,
rather
man.
catch up on little people in Atlanta.
you get pushed off a boat and it's just like boink.
All right, I'm gonna be devil's advocate.
Go
and
ahead,
be
bro.
Like, look, it was a good show.
Were you watching the same show as I
Bro,
was
you
watching?
always go on the other side?
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing because, like, you know, they
Make-
showed
make her
in
flames,
depth with
bro.
Sea of Thieves, the game we.
Well, he tried to say it with
He
his
tried. He
finger.
tried straight facing it.
Come on, whew. All right. So yeah, the game was good. What they showed, and yeah, I'm done.
Bro, if you haven't like binge just like overate yourself to where you're like throwing up of Sea of Thieves in the past, like I've seen some people like talking in the chat like, you didn't play the final beta of Sea of Thieves? What? I got a couple extra chickens I have to catch in the middle of the ocean? Like, no one cares about the final beta of Sea of Thieves. Like, we know it's coming. Like, let's just give it some breathing room.
Yeah.
Let's give us
Let's
some
get the
time to
final
forget
game. Let's
about
see
it.
what
It's like the ex-girlfriend that you broke up with, but you're not with anybody else right now. So like, hey, if you want to come back by, like I know it's 2:00 in the morning, but if you want to come back by, that's cool. But Sea of Thieves, this is just let's just give it its breathing room, and when it comes out, let's let it come out and experience it in all its glory. Like we've had debates on this show before about the damage that betas do to a game.
Yeah.
Like how many beta tests do you need to come out before it starts washing it out for your true player base? Like the people that are dedicated to the game have already played the game.
And that's one of the reasons why I didn't play the beta this past weekend, because I've been in the alpha for over a year now.
Yeah,
So I'm worn out on
I am
alpha
too, man.
and beta gameplay. I just want to wait for the full release.
Yeah, I am too.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, and granted, everybody that has Microsoft anywhere near their name, whether you can smell Mikey Barra's breath from your bedroom window, everybody knows that Sea of Thieves has been touted as having so much more content than the beta has.
I
that
beg
might
to
be-
differ,
that-
man. I really
That
beg
may
to
be
differ.
so, though, but whatever. I mean, whether it is or not, the fact of the matter is that when you're playing Sea of Thieves this many times and you're stuffing it down your Xbox fans' throats, because like Sea of Thieves, Xbox exclusive, Xbox has a real strict, real heavy player base. And
Is that why they're
this
sticking into
fanboy-
Game Pass then?
Well,
Because then
I
you
don't-
could just pay $9 and you can play it on day one.
Yeah, you're gonna pay $9 playing on day one and get everything you're paying for in the beta plus a
For 30
what
days, and
a
then you can stop GameStop.
20-30 minute
Okay.
Kraken fight that you have to train for a couple days.
I'm gonna play Sea of Thieves 10 years from now when they remaster it, just so it'll piss Brewtal off.
Dang, bro.
Sea of Thieves, DLC
Remastered.
coming out. We got skeletons with hair this time. Come and check it out, guys.
Sea of Thieves now in 8K with more realistic water than you ever imagined.
Yeah, you ever got sunburned from a game? Well, now you're gonna get it.
Oh yeah,
Like-
that's what I want.
Oh,
Man.
I
I want to
wait.
sunbathe on there. Get some sun.
I gotta say about Inside Xbox, when Larry was talking about Sea of Thieves, the water is so realistic. If you look over the bow, you might get seasick. I was like, "Oh, get off it."
I've never had that happen at all in this game.
Bro, I'm gonna purposely get violently drunk and then just throw up all over my Xbox and then just tweet it out to Larry and Mike and be like,
Like,
"Yo,
Sea of
guys,
Thieves got
like
me
you warned me, but I couldn't control myself."
Wow.
Nice. All right, so that we killed that topic. Let's go get on to what I'm actually excited about. A show that actually happened was Nintendo Direct. We got some info, a bunch of announcements, and I think this was the best Direct I've ever seen, to be honest with you. My overall impressions was like, I wasn't big into the 3DS stuff, but I think the Luigi Mansion remake was pretty cool for 3DS.
Kirby.
It should have been on the Switch, to be honest with you, but if they are going to do that, I'd probably be like an E3 kind of thing that they would show, all that kind of stuff. We got to see Smash Bros. At the end, Okami HD, South Park's going on there. We saw some Dark Souls. Dark Souls look really good, and a bunch of other stuff. Like, how'd you guys think of the Direct? How'd that go for you guys?
Okay.
Super Smash Bros. That's it.
Smash
Dude,
Bros.
It
I'm
was
telling
better
you,
than Inside Xbox.
That trailer for Super Smash Bros.
was killer.
had me 100% super, just like she's like running through, like doing her thing, and then she like gets that fire, and she looks at it, and just like the silhouette of like Link.
Dude, I thought it was Diablo, man. I thought it was Diablo at first.
Dude, I didn't know what it was at first. Like I had like.
Well, it was just a fire, and then they've been teasing like the Switch version of like Diablo for like the past couple of days, and I'm like, it's gonna be Diablo, and then it was even awesome like with Smash Bros.
Nintendo set the bar for any like games related conference like coming, man. Like
yeah, for sure.
Nintendo Direct was
on point.
On point.
GKB, we all know you want everything to be Diablo when it comes out.
Bro. Yo, I could take my Switch on the go and be like, fucking playing Diablo.
Why would you not want everything to be Diablo in the first place? Like, let's backtrack real quick. Let's assess who's on our panel real quick. Why would you not want everything to be Diablo, Mike?
Yeah, I don't want to play Diablo all the time. That's all. That's all I gotta say. I'm happy.
I need you to tell me right now.
What? I like me some Diablo from time to time. From time to time.
Time to time. Okay.
That's right. From time to time.
I like breathing.
Diablo 2 is the best.
Diablo 3 is coming, in fact, to the
Who
Switch.
confirmed this? Blizzard confirmed this? Then it's not confirmed.
Pretty sure. I believe that's where the source was from.
Nintendo's show though, like in all seriousness, though, man, was awesome. They attacked it from every front, and Nintendo did it in classic Nintendo fashion. Oh, we're gonna come in low key and just blow the doors off everything. Oh, the Switch was, that might be cool. Just crushed it in sales. And Super Smash coming out is gonna open up an entire new platform for the Switch.
Dude, they said 2018, and I gotta give Nintendo some credit right here. All their games, yeah, it said 2018 after the Smash. They said like 2018, and all their games for Nintendo has been on time, and they haven't delayed anything. Yeah. So it could be happening.
I have to. My whole thing was all those games were cool. They're not probably games I'm gonna play. However, South Park going to the Switch, I would play. I would play that. First off, I was so surprised because that has to be one of the raunchiest, one of the like most rated R video games that you could possibly ever buy, and it's going to like an all family style console, which you would never expect.
Yo, you got to give Nintendo credit. They said we got third party support. We got third party, and they are delivering.
Outlast, like they're going horror style to full out.
And that's what Nintendo needs.
Nintendo's been ostracized as a console that doesn't have any adult content that can't appeal to the older gamer, and now that you have, I mean, credit to them, man. Like I said, Nintendo comes in low key and just, oh, you think we're just for kids? Well, here, take South Park, take Dark Souls, and you guys already know this. I'm no big fan of remasters, but Dark Souls getting put on the Nintendo is sweet.
Yeah,
especially the first one.
Well, and that's really what they needed to do to bring back gamers like me who grew up with Nintendo. And I've really wanted to get a Nintendo Switch for my kids, but I haven't been able to justify the price. But now I'm seeing these games that, Doom, Dark Souls, South Park. We're seeing a lot of third-party support and a lot of mature content that we haven't seen from Nintendo in the past 2 generations. Exactly. So I think they're making good moves in the right direction to get back more of the hardcore gamers and not just the Nintendo fans.
Right. Switch is killing it right now, too.
Coming from that point of view, do you think that we could possibly see any first-party, like more mature content coming out?
Dude, I would love to see like a mature-rated Zelda game come out. I think that series could go into that area and that it would do really well.
I think especially with I feel like Breath of the Wild has been a more gritty version of a lot of the Zeldas that have come out, and
even the story too is kind of.
But it makes you wonder though if that's what they're doing, if they're testing the waters to see how many they have actually buy these rated, higher rated games. And
I mean, let's not forget though, like Nintendo's pulled out a couple mature rated titles back in the day. I mean,
nothing that really anybody talks about though.
They own the IP though, because I'm thinking of like Conker's Bad Fur Day, but Rare owns that, so it's like then 007.
I can see what you're talking about there, but like the Nintendo that we know as of like modern day, current day,
like Wii
is that it's your Wii Sports, it's your Mario, it's your Kirby, it's all friendly, and that's their. I mean, it works, man. I mean, Pokemon,
That's another game, aren't they bringing out? Is Pokemon? They're supposed to be bringing out like a Pokemon reality MMO game or something.
I'm telling you right
detective.
now,
Yeah.
I will know like I will
Pikachu.
know like that.
Pikachu's gonna fail so hard.
Dude, like when he started talking, I was like, "What the hell is going on?"
Yeah,
right now?
exactly. When he starts talking, that's it. It's over. Nobody wants it.
Yeah, I was
anymore.
like, "Yeah, I'm passing on that, like 100%."
That was the one I was like, that seems like it's gonna.
I would love an MMO Pokemon like
If it
legitimately.
was done
like,
right, yeah. But
Yeah, an MMO Pokemon would be awesome.
Like
I would totally
Pokemon
do that.
Go made me walk too much, and I don't like that, so I abandoned that real fast.
Here's the thing about the
I'm
Nintendo
trying-
Direct, though. Like,
If I was living in Southern California where it's 70 degrees outside, and I could walk around the city and have a bunch of people to play with all the time. But I'm not trying to go schlep through fucking 95 degrees, 90% humidity to go catch a Pokemon
Florida,
on my
bro.
phone. Or my phone's probably gonna die in a couple hours anyways. Like,
here's the thing about like the Nintendo Direct, right? Like they like killed it right now. How I don't even know what they're gonna do to pull off like E3, and E3 is gonna be like probably even better.
That's if they
Like,
even
I don't
have
even
a
know what else they're
show.
gonna
What
show.
if they don't even have a show?
More Super Smash Bros. That's it.
Yeah, they're probably gonna
That's
show the
all they have to
gameplay
do.
of Smash Bros for sure.
Treehouse Squared this year, bros. That's what I'm saying.
More puppets.
I can't wait for it, honestly. I think
Oh yeah, that
No,
was awesome.
no
the
puppets.
puppet
More
show.
puppets.
no
That
puppets.
was-
No
Bring
puppets.
the puppets.
No puppets.
Nick,
Evil
no,
puppets.
no puppets. I'm with GKB 100%.
puppets.
They
No
can have a
puppets.
Doom
Puppets
puppet with
were
googly
lit.
eyes.
No.
Puppets were not
What's wrong
lit.
with you? What's wrong with you? All right, guys,
Dude,
let's go ahead and get into some PlayStation stuff here. PlayStation launched another PS4 Pro bundle. It's the God of War limited edition one.
Oh, God.
I'm not really like hating on it, and I'm not really liking it either. It's kind of mad
Miss-
to me, but
Yeah.
What is with them in silver and white consoles?
well, it's like the
Miss-
axe.
No,
It's-
they
Missed
need
opportunity,
color.
man.
They
Missed
they,
opportunity.
they need
Well,
color to
I'm,
their
not-
consoles.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna come out and say it here. Okay, PlayStation, they make the best design consoles. That Black Ops 3 console, I'm
Yeah,
telling
that's sweet. Yeah,
that-
I agree.
that was a masterpiece. I'm
Please
just
tell me
being
you
honest.
guys are just
I
being
mean-
dumbasses right now, and you don't really mean that.
I like the
because-
Black Ops.
Clearly, it was
had
made
3
by
lines.
Michelangelo. I mean, clearly. I mean, like, look at the hydroglyphics on it. Like, bring up an image of it. You know, you see
Bro,
the paint.
the runes.
Did anybody even okay? So talking about the God of War, did anyone even look at it? The thing looks like they have a freaking move stick on the side.
That's the axe handle.
Like,
It's the axe
Okay, so
handle.
it
Move
looks like a
stick?
move
What?
stick.
I don't disagree with you.
I'll have you know that that's not a moose stick. Thank you.
In
Oh,
Sony's
sure.
defense,
I'm
and
an
God
expert.
of War's special console defense, all I have to say is nobody has played the game yet. Nobody knows whether these runes hold any significance to the game or the gameplay itself. So
All right.
maybe, just maybe, this console might end up being awesome after we know the content.
Like,
As it is right
like-
now, I'm it's a hard sell.
I'm with
I
you, Mike.
just think
let's
the
go
design
from let's
is
go from
like,
a
there's a giant
let's
white
go
spot
from an
for no
objective
reason.
point of view, right? Objective point of view. There's no question that this God of War is coming back to more of like a Nordic background, right? So all these runes, regardless of if they mean anything, you could design it in a much better way. Because I've seen some people acting it to like a grandma sweater, and I completely agree. That shit looks crazy lame. If you want to see how the console should have been done, go check out my boy Xbox Pope.
Oh yeah,
Tom.
He did
absolutely,
an
bro. That
amazing-
red one. Yeah.
We put that on the freaking gaming den and said like this was the console that you're getting, and then people were like, "What?" And we're like, "No."
Bro, I had to buy
No.
two new office chairs after
Okay,
I saw his.
But
review of
you
that
have to
game.
admit the Xbox Pope, he designs better Xbox custom consoles than Xbox does.
Yeah,
so you
agreed.
can't blame
That's
him.
true.
I
Well,
mean, the dude's a master, and let's not turn this into like a praise fest for him. God knows he deserves every second of it.
he does.
But
he definitely does that.
the console looks like garbage, bro. It does. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like
Yeah.
they could have done, and I've seen some reworkings of it from a couple other people in the community too. The same design, but just with a different color scheme, more blacks, more blues, a little.
Here's the
a
thing, though.
lot.
Like,
That's-
I agree with you, Brutal. I don't think it's the best representation of really anything, and they've been hit or miss with their consoles and stuff. But I will give them credit. At least they are doing custom consoles.
That was
Yeah.
my whole aspect of it. Is at least they're
Browns.
doing it. I just wish they would pull away from the whole gray and white thing.
Yeah.
They did it for the Batman. They did it for Destiny. They did it for their Star Wars.
Well, here's the
Battlefront
thing.
2.
Like, they like the inside Xbox when we were talking about Sea of Thieves, and I don't want to keep bringing this up,
Illuminati.
but they have a fantastic looking controller. We have one right there, the Sea of Thieves controller. You're telling me you can't take that painting and design and make the goddamn CFD's console? Like,
Xbox
what are you doing?
Xbox Pope did it for you. Just ask him for his design and create it. Like, he did it. He already made the console for them.
Make that.
I'm trying to see an
button,
image of it. Like,
make that power button a skull, and you're on point.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
And they do this on these controllers, and I get it, they're a little cheaper and whatnot and everything like that, but do the damn consoles too,
Bro,
especially if you're cramming CFDs down our throat as much as they are.
They gave a bundle. They're selling a bundle, but they're not selling and they don't have to do the X. Like, that's the thing. They can do it as the normal Xbox One S. It's not like they have to go crazy with the X and do it.
XsheWulfx is just like presenting the controller Vanna White.
Yeah, she's all like Vanna White right now.
Or Paul,
yeah,
I know I don't
GKB
have the white
just like
gloves. I don't have the white gloves to like.
he just like Pat Sajak's it, and he's just what do we have today, guys? And just
we totally scripted that.
Like this console, I feel like was a missed opportunity because the color scheme alone just doesn't scream Gears of War to me. The runes and everything,
it's God of War
symbolism on it, whether or not it's meaningful or not, it's just not visually appealing. And I think overall, I mean, aside from like the diehard like fanboys that nobody likes, whether you're Xbox or PlayStation, nobody likes you.
Shots fired.
No, not really any shots fired. It's just toxicity that nobody needs. The design of that PlayStation is just not it's not visually
it's just the best ditch effort to make more money and
that's true. But like if it's your last ditch effort, why not put more effort into it and make it look better?
Because the PlayStation 5 will be coming out. That's
know the worst part is the best console that PlayStation
I like what Destro said.
We don't even actually get. It was only done in the overseas, which was the Monster Hunter World one.
Oh yeah,
where it was like black and then it had the gray etching of the dragon and then it had like the red flames that like when you moved and stuff it actually shimmered. That was the best console that they did, and the US doesn't even get it.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's all a matter of opinion. I think the best console that PlayStation did was the 20-year anniversary PlayStation 4.
Oh, that one that's actually dope too, man. I agree with you on that. Yeah, that one was actually cool. So Destro kind of stepped into the next subject there. Sony patents back compat, or they updated their patent for back compat. And I'm gonna go out on a limb and being like, this is for the PS5. To be honest with you, I was reading some of the patent and they were talking about timings and all this kind of stuff, and that doesn't sound like they're trying to emulate the PS3 or doing that on PS4. And to be honest with you, they spent all this money for Gaikai and doing the PS Now stuff or all their PS3. I really don't see this for the PS4. I think this is going to be a PS5. And rumors are getting like pretty crazy out there with the PS5 probably going to be announced at E3. I don't know how likely that is, but I could definitely see them announcing it and then releasing it the following year.
We're not surprised, though. The thing is, we've all heard them talk about how the consoles were actually going to become not like they weren't going to become like long sessions anymore. They weren't going
like
to
iterative, a couple years.
Yeah, like it was only supposed to go for like
cell phone
possibly
type
like up to 5 years because they're trying to keep up with the technology that is constantly coming out. Because heck, they're already talking about 8K, and from there, these consoles are already going to be outdated because only the X can do 4K. And that's on some games. So, you know, unless they constantly keep pressing out more systems. But this is where I talked about this on the Gaming Den. I feel comfortable with Xbox bringing out more consoles because I know no matter what, everything that I have paid for is going to play on the next console that they bring out, which is where the backwards compat and the forwards compat work hand in hand. Now, PlayStation, you know, we bought the VR, we bought all this stuff, and if they bring out a PlayStation 5, if it's not compatible with the VR or anything else like that, I don't feel the need to go and buy this because of the fact I spent all this money on
I
past
agree,
stuff.
But to be fair, though, you have to like look at the PS3. That was cell processing. That's something they developed and all that kind of stuff, too. So that's not really comparable, like, because I think that's really hard on an emulation level to do, and I get that. But that's where good, dude.
I'm just saying, to not make your console going from this point going forward.
Yeah, I think
to not make your console forward compatible is back compat, like whatever. Like that's a novelty, give or take. But forward compatibility is the end all be all in my opinion
going
for
forward
a console nowadays. Like technology is too good. The technology is too available and widely available to make that a thing. That it can't be taken as just like an overlook. It's something that people buying a console going forward now, especially considering how expensive consoles are. That's something that you're gonna have to work into the next hardware you come out with. And PlayStation coming out with backwards compatibility, or at least patenting it, that's long overdue in my opinion. And you guys know me, like I'm not a big fan of backward compat in the first place. Like keep your old console if you want to play old games, or buy an emulator. Like the technology is there to have access to old games, whether or not you have backwards compatibility or not. Like,
what's up, John, in the chat? Man, sorry to cut you off, Brewtal. Hey guys, I'm looking at the chat. I'm not typing in there, but I'm totally watching. Don't worry. Good, man.
No, I mean that's really all I wanted to say, man. Is that
I agree with you. I think like forward compatibility and all that stuff, and yeah, back compat. I mean, I'm talking back compat in the sense of, PS5 playing PS4 games and forward compatibility.
And well, I mean, in that sense, like I mean, you can call it whatever you want, but I mean that's essentially forward compatibility for a PS4 game, back compat for a PS5, whatever you want to call it. That has to happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
The generations are too, like you guys were saying earlier, the generations are too close together to not have that be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And like on the PC side, you completely do that like for every game ever. Like you can totally
like think how far apart the 64 was from the Wii. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like the biggest generation jump that I can think of at the time. PS2, PS3, like that jump from the PS2, the Nintendo 64, or I'm sorry, the Nintendo 64 and the PlayStation to that next gen. I feel like that was the biggest jump in graphical fidelity that we've seen.
Yeah.
And now, judging by the state of the industry, like not offering to be able to play games that released less than 5 years ago on your current console is obnoxious to me. Like that's not acceptable in any, but like that should be the status quo going forward, that any console that comes out better be able to play the games from the last generation, because that's ridiculous.
I'm sure that's like on their checkboxes for sure. Go ahead, Mike.
I was gonna say that the only reason that they wouldn't make that a reality is because they want to be able to sell you the same games again.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair point too. Like we are in the gen of remasters, but I think gamers been enough outspoken about remasters at this point where it's kind of like it's getting like to the loot box point. Like we're kind of tired and over it. Like let's make some new games at this point. But yeah, that's definitely an aspect you have to look into going forward for sure.
And I feel like Xbox is kind of paving the road for that in the console space. Like we were saying, like with PC, that's always been the reality of it. You take your PC games from 20 years ago and you can play them on a brand new PC today. You don't have to rebuy the game. You don't have to get a remaster or anything like that. With consoles, it's relatively new. I mean, even before this gen, we never saw backwards compatibility. There was a handful of original Xbox games that played on the 360, but not nearly the size that we're getting from the Xbox 360 to Xbox One backwards compatibility program. So hopefully they just keep carrying that forward. And if that is a major selling point, then, both Sony and Nintendo are going to take notice of that and make sure that they incorporate that into their future plans.
Agreed. Anybody else on the Sony stuff? On the Sony patent, PS5, anything like that?
I got a weird thing to add here.
Good.
If Steve Jobs was around and he got into the console market, I'm pretty sure he would have had the backwards compatibility thing like there from the get go. Because I honestly think it's just crazy that even with the PS3, the cell processor and all that, it can emulate it, or if it can't do it, make a console powerful enough to emulate that using only like 10% of the power, or something like that. Like I think the consoles going forward, I think with the Xbox One and PS4, I think it was underpowered compared to PC. Obviously, like with the 360 was like destroying shit. So I think they're trying to like kind of nickel and dime, trying to see what they could get away with releasing going forward. So the backward compatibility thing, it should be standard. I mean, all the other games it should be able to run. And I
At
think
least,
overall,
at least from the prior generation, right?
no, I'm saying in general and all for all like an industry thing. Like, hey, this like what the Switch? Like, you can't sit here like, well, you could tell me that it's not, but the backward compatibility with the Switch. Why is it not playing 3DS games? You mean to tell me it's not powerful enough to do it? Why not put a little slot on it? You know, like I want to play Pokemon with my Switch. Like, why not do that? It's just like a money thing. It's like a nickel and dime. Like, oh no,
especially
you got to buy
with
this
Switch
peripheral.
like taking over the 3DS kind of market, and I think eventually they're gonna get rid of the 3DS.
Why
altogether.
not?
Well, yeah, why wouldn't they? That
I mean,
makes a
with
valid point.
With the Switch the way it is now, I mean, exactly. Why would you make any changes to any of your mobile market?
Yeah.
Well, why not make that your universal platform and just maybe the Switch 2.0, maybe the what we were talking about before is like not making it necessarily a Switch 2.0, but letting your Switch play your 3DS games.
Yeah.
Or like
I think eventually there's gonna be like a 2. Sorry, Mike, I didn't mean to cut you out there. There's gonna be a Switch 2.0. I think right now, what Nintendo is doing is getting everybody attached to it. Hey, this is our new big thing, and then the next one's gonna have the 3DS when they finally kill that off and all that kind of stuff. I think it's gonna have all that feature.
Do you remember the original Game Boy? Like all the different attachments you could get for that.
Yeah.
I used to have like the magnifying lens with like the overhead light.
I don't think it would be too far fetched to see them coming out with some sort of an attachment that maybe plugs into the micro USB or something like that lets you plug in the 3DS disc.
Even like the GameCube had that dock for the Game Boy Advance stuff that you can like plug into it.
Right.
Yeah.
Hell, even the Super Nintendo had like the Super Game Boy that you could plug in and then plug your Game Boy.
Yeah, they did, man. That's Nintendo all the way, and they said they're gonna be like pushing peripherals and all that kind of stuff. So I definitely think that's coming down for sure. Absolutely. One last topic we're gonna get into, a real short one. I don't think that we need to like ponder this with like crazy amounts, but Days Gone's been pushed back to 2019. Honestly, I never thought this was gonna come out this year.
It's a shame, man.
It is a shame because I think this is another one that I'm like really excited.
The game looks really fun, man.
Yeah, absolutely, and how they're using zombies as like a weapon and stuff like that. I
actually
that's
thought
really cool.
from E3 last year that it was actually a lot farther than what it was. I don't understand why exactly it's being pushed
for me,
back.
like personally, like push it back, make it good. Like that's cool. Like on any platform, if it's going to make the game better, absolutely do it.
But
like I agree with the Crackdown 3 thing. Like they wanted to make it better, cool, push it back. That's fine.
But truthfully, are we surprised? Like this is kind of the generation for betas and delays.
Or showing games a little too early.
Well, now
you know the problem is though, guys. SheWulf, what you just said is the generation of betas and delays. We said those same exact words verbatim this time last year on the console corner.
Yeah,
it's still the same generation.
It's the current state of gaming in general, whether it's this generation or whether it's the PS5. Games are under so much scrutiny, and I think that a mixture of betas and too much access for fans, whether it's technology or whatever it may be, games are constantly going to be delayed. That's just the way it's going to be from now on. And
well, and the only thing that's distressing about this move to me is that if Days Gone isn't coming out until 2019, where does that put The Last of Us 2? Because they're not the same game, but they're both dealing with kind of like a post-apocalyptic zombie apocalypse type world. So,
if you're coming from like Naughty Dog, like period, like you're gonna expect a couple delays with that game. Like if you're thinking this is coming out, like it's gonna be delayed. 2 is gonna be
a launch title for PS5 on 2020. Bro.
I mean, it could be. It could be. I absolutely could be.
And I think that it would serve them well for both because they're going to absolutely crush sales when Last of Us 2 is launch title in 2020. Let them get their first like initial ones out. Let them get God of War out. Let them get even Days Gone because Days Gone looks fun, man. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
It doesn't look super groundbreaking by any means, but it looks cool.
I just hope they come out with a bundle and make it all white.
I'm down with that.
I want them to come out with a PS5 version that's like the PS1 back in the day. Not the actual first version of PlayStation, but the PS1 that was like the
gray
tiny little white console. You know what I'm talking about?
The mini that was like practically
real small. It was like
Where the
practically
top
like a
opened
notebook
up.
or something. Like
yeah, it was like a DVD player, like a
Nice.
portable DVD player.
That'd
You
be
know what I'm
cool.
talking
One last thing about Days Gone getting pushed back. I hope that we don't see more people hanging from the ceiling at E3 this year.
hanging from the ceiling.
They're definitely
Yeah,
going to be
what
showing that game for sure. I could guarantee that.
Oh, you know they're going to show it again.
Yeah, I definitely.
They're gonna be showing gameplay teasers of The Last of Us 2, and that's gonna break the.
To be honest,
speakers
man,
on
I'm
everyone's
totally down to
computers.
see anything Last of Us 2 for sure. Any questions out there? You guys throw us your questions. That's the last of our topics. So,
I haven't seen anything really.
Yeah.
There's non-related game ones, but
Dude, this show. had
this
me
show was
real,
crazy, man.
real lit the entire time.
Dude,
tonight.
it was some good
I was,
conversations, bro. Like, absolutely. Yo, big shout out to the community for all you rocking out, man. We were up to like 75 plus
Yeah.
people watching. Like, you guys are fantastic, man. We love you.
Huge shout out to the viewers. You guys are all awesome.
Yeah, you guys rock. Super stoked. Big thanks to our Patreons. We're going to give you a shout out here in a little bit, see if we have any questions. I'm just waiting to see if we get anything before we close out the show.
if you have a question, put it in the chat now. I'll read it.
You got 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Well, one.
There's a delay.
technically.
Yeah, there's a delay. For sure.
There's a delay. There's like
You
a
have 2
2-second
seconds,
delay.
30 seconds from now.
By the time he puts it in, the show's already over. He's
Yeah,
like,
it's
oh, no,
like,
that's all
"Bye."
right.
I was just playing, just kidding. Sorry, guys. But yeah, this show was like phenomenal, man. Like the conversations we had, and it was
Oh, yeah.
so good.
It's always good. It's always good.
Yeah, it's the console corner. You expect this from us? Come on.
Yeah. We used to be the sexiest damn podcast on Tuesday nights, but we got to change that to Mondays now, baby.
Yeah, baby. You know it.
Yeah, it's the best way to start your week.
Squid Kid Brutal. Will you marry me?
But I already
the
got.
same?
He already got hooked up.
Yeah,
He's off the
He
market.
got married, but is that the same
You
one that
guys
was
don't
picking on you about your hat last week? Because I know he was
no.
picking on you about your old man quotes.
I don't know. No, the guy that was talking shit last week's not here.
Oh, okay.
Shout out. I bet you won't come back in this chat either. You little bitch.
What's your
but
favorite
shout-
VR game so far?
My favorite VR game is that Rush of Blood. I think that's a phenomenal game. Batman was pretty good too, but
Is that the rail shooter?
that rail
Rushable?
shooter, bro, is like
I gotta
awesome.
come over and play that, man. I
Dude,
have
come
no
over,
VR
man.
experience.
Yo, you come over.
we-
We'll stream that shit,
no,
bro. We'll
I
fucking like.
thought we were gonna do a VR party because
Oh yeah, we want to do a VR party.
yeah, we're
Get
gonna
everybody
Alright, so-
super smashed and like then fucking throwing up all
Alright.
over the place.
because what you call it?
Yeah.
Destro's wife wants to play Resident Evil 7. That's my
Destro's
favorite
wife can
VR
play
game,
with
by
my
the way,
VR.
is Resident Evil 7.
I'll
That
play
game
with your
is like
VR, baby.
badass.
Faces got a question.
What was
Question for panel: are those rumored games, the new Fable, Perfect Dark, are those games for next gen? The rumored Fable and Perfect Dark, are those games for next gen?
They're rumors.
Yeah, the
They're-
rumors.
Rumors.
Man, they've been kicking rumors about Perfect Dark for shit, bro.
Here's the
Wait,
thing,
I
like,
know they work
We've
for
heard so
Fable.
My
much
kids are
about-
going to be in college by the
That's
time that shit happens.
But
We've
Fable
heard
is
so much about Perfect Dark, and we've heard so much about a Fable game that, like, one, we don't even know if it was actually ever announced by any developers themselves that these games. It was more or less like it started just from fans wanting these games.
yeah.
To pushing it constantly, saying, "Oh my God, I think there's one coming. There's one coming." But then it just became like it got so driven into the social media of being a rumor that it was never once ever actually talked by any of like the gaming companies that these two games were coming. I
Yeah,
don't
and
think.
then it's going to become true. That's the whole thing.
Like I
It's
know,
gonna
Phil,
become
I know
true.
Phil said it would be
Phil
cool.
said he's like, you know, he's still got good things about for Fable and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so
Come on,
it's
if like
the
a
same with
millions of
Perfect.
fans are talking about Fable, they have to make it.
Well,
Like it's
I'm not dying to see another Fable like everybody else is.
You know, when,
I'm dying to see an RPG from Microsoft. They need it.
when you
I
have a
agree.
year like
I agree.
this,
Bro, we got what's it called coming out?
Sea of Thieves. RPG. Like, I mean,
That's
well,
fine.
an RPG. Like,
it's
you know,
when you have a year like this, the rumor mill is just going to spin because that's what it's got to do. Nobody knows what Microsoft might announce at E3 because we don't know what their future plans are beyond State of Decay 2, and we know there's going to be another Forza Horizon, but you know, beyond that, who can predict what they're going to do next? So,
Yeah.
are they going to have some surprises this year for us at E3?
I'm sure.
More than likely.
They're
But,
gonna
you know-
have Crackdown 3 DLC as one of their main.
But-
but my point is to commit to a Fable 4 or to a Perfect Dark and say, yeah, that's legitimately happening. Until it's announced, it's foolish to think that anything's going to happen that we don't know about.
Yeah. Here's the other thing to that too.
I know
Mike,
about the Fable. That's all I'm saying.
All right, that's cool,
Yeah.
man. Hopefully it happens. But
The Fable is happening.
here's the thing with Microsoft right now, right? Like, I think what they're doing right now is they're happy where they are. They're going to be putting out a few games here and there. They're not going to be going crazy. I think what Phil's doing right now, I think he's building up for the future. I think he's, getting some studios, getting some IPs, getting things worked out, and then with the next
that's what he's been doing this whole time.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I think that's I know a lot of fanboys out there probably won't believe that, but I think, yeah, that's what he's doing. I think they're comfortable where they are.
Could somebody just tell Phil to give me a bomb ass Gundam Wing game?
That would.
Bro, that's
I know
gonna if
GKB would
Gundam
love a
Wing
Gundam
comes
Wing
out,
game.
that's gonna be
Absolutely.
a PlayStation exclusive no matter what.
I would love a Gundam Wing game.
If a good Gundam,
Microsoft.
Gundam, can you imagine if Phil goes to Japan and he's like, "Yo, dude, let me get that Gundam Wing exclusive."
Dude, I would fucking be hell yeah. Hell
Bro, PlayStation would implode.
Oh, yeah.
and
They'd be really
we
fucking
would
salty about that one.
we would be living underground as mole people before Xbox
Like,
gets
Fallout Shelter. Like,
before Xbox gets a Gundam exclusive, bro.
Mega,
that would
yeah,
break-
I think
that'd
Mega's right. I
break
think
the
he's going to
world.
get Halo
That'd
6
break
this
the
year.
world.
I think
Yeah.
Halo 6 is right around the corner for sure.
my
John, GKB, are you going to be playing the new Tomb Raider? Absolutely. I play every Tomb Raider game. That is my jam. That is my single player.
That's
game.
his second place boo boo behind She-Wolf.
That's right. Actually, it's Ariel, but whatever.
I was gonna say he's an Ariel fan.
Yo, that little
Really?
mermaid girl.
Bro, I'll give you a thingamajig and let you comb your hair.
If I had any, that'd be awesome.
He
but
doesn't have any.
whatever.
I'll be your Ursula to your Ariel.
Nice.
Oh my god, we need to get you like a red wig with like a fork, so that you can brush your hair on stream.
No face. We got the cheapo version. We didn't get HDR for the PSVR. We just got the normal PSVR up there. And I'm okay with that, to be honest with you, because after playing the PSVR, I didn't want to spend any more money than I did on it, because I think when the next wave comes out of VRs, they're going to be a much better experience than they are right now. So I'm okay with it, for sure.
Yep.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and close out this show. Let everybody jam out and what they got going on. Sith, what you got going on, brother?
Nothing much really, honestly. Just relaxing. I might put up some more videos, but I don't know really. So yeah, just chilling.
Nice.
That's about it.
Destro, what about you, man?
I'll probably start playing some of that State of Decay. I'm gonna spend the $50 and get it early because I like the
You still
first
can't
one.
play it till May.
Oh, you pre-ordered.
That's sad.
May,
Just
March,
saying.
it's all the same to me.
Yeah, man, I'm down with you, bro. I'll be playing with you, man.
Yeah.
We gotta get on that 4-player co-op.
Other than that, I'll be on PUBG, Rainbow Six. Hit me up, Fupa Chalupa.
Fupa chalupa. Brewtal, what you got going on, dude? Master streamer over here.
I don't know about Master Streamer. We got She-Wolf in our midst, but I will put in a shameless plug to my Mixer channel if I must. You can definitely find me at GBO _ Brewtal Knight, just like you see it in the chat, just like you see it in the description of the channel. Also, go follow me on Twitter, Brewtal Knight. Real simple, I promise. It's not that hard to figure out. Guys, I'm going live right after the stream, so if you want to hop over to the disc or hop over to the Mixer channel, I'm going to be tweeting it out in a second. I'd love for you guys to continue the show and come hang out over there. Probably just going to be showing you guys some how to not play Fortnite. So if you want to come through and play, hang out, that'd be awesome.
John, my Twitter is its_thegov. Is my Twitter, and Mega. Anytime you want to jam on
Hold
a
on.
game, bro, I am there.
Real quick, can we all talk about something real quick?
Yeah.
The fact that the governor, air quotes, just followed me on Twitter just
Bro,
now.
You
Like
had like
tw-
4 Twitters since I've known you.
Like 20 minutes before the show started. Are you
Bro.
serious?
Seriously?
He's
Bro,
had
you're
like
so-
4
you're
Twitters.
so lucky.
No, he
Bro,
hasn't.
He's totally had 4
He
Twitters.
has not. We have been all following him for I don't know how long
Bro,
now.
you are so lucky that my son is asleep in the room
Anyway,
next.
outros.
Bro, I would destroy you. I will kill you.
I will make it up to you, baby. I promise. Magic Mike, what you got going
I know
on?
you will.
Hey, everybody. You can always find me here every Monday night at 8 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time on the Console Corner podcast. And you can also find me on Twitter at MagicMike83. I haven't been too active lately. Just started a new job at work there, so learning lots of stuff, doing lots of training. But once I get the hang of it, I'll be on there a little bit more often.
Sweet. Mega, like I said, bro, you hit me up, man. I will be there. I will play whatever game you want to play because you are a fucking awesome dude, bro.
Mega is an awesome dude.
So is everybody else, but Mega's extremely. Yo, that dude is fucking jacked, by the way. He is a monster.
Okay.
Go ahead, SheWulf.
Obviously, you can find me Monday to Friday on Mixer, SheWulf with an X. Or now I don't even know.
Wow, you can't even say it.
No. So it's SheWulf. It's xSheWulfx with a U, not a no. Monday to Friday. I'm apparently gonna have a charity stream coming up at the end of the month with being supported by Streamlabs.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
Nice.
They contacted me and asked me about doing a
SheWulf
charity
making
stream.
moves.
So I guess it looks like I might be doing that. And we got Sea of Thieves big stream coming up.
SheWulf's gonna be pimping Sea of Thieves. People, go check it out. Go
oh
check
my God,
it out.
I have the awesomest cosplay that I'm gonna do for it. So
I want to see that peg leg poking
that
out.
peg leg. That's what I'm
There
talking
you
about.
You know what I'm saying?
so yeah, and of course you can find me
GKB's
on.
peg leg might be making pop in there. What was that?
JKB got that
Okay, anyways.
spindle toothpick leg. You know what I'm saying?
And of course you can find me on Twitter and Discord. Other than that, that's kind of where I hang out. Mixer.
I want to say a big thank you to our Patreon supporters. Thank you so much, Dirty J, GBO, Grim Reaper, Spoonman, and Beefy Prime. And I seen somebody else in the chat say they just did up our Patreon. So thank you, Anthony, Brandon. I see you in there. I see
Don't
you
worry,
in the chat,
we'll
bro.
fix the thing so you can actually see the names because that actually
SheWulf
looks
just hating right now.
horrible.
SheWulf
Because
just
it
hating.
does. That doesn't look very
You know
good
what?
on there.
It's my
Where's
option.
that? Where's that
I
contrast?
don't
at,
care.
though?
That like that was not the idea I had in mind when I said like have it scrolling. That,
Anyway,
no.
thank you so much, everybody. We love you. Thank you for the super chats, all you guys. You rock. Check us out next week, Monday, 8 o'clock. I'll be doing the Twitter thing because I think that's a lot of fun. I'll have some other fantastic outfit to stream on there with you guys and all that kind of stuff. Follow me on Twitter. It's _thegov. Follow us here on the Console Corner channel. We love you guys. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.
Peace out.
Later.